To talk to Neil, call 567-0560, toll free for Dade and Broward, or pound 560 on your cell phone.
No.
The opinions of Neil, his guests, callers, or anyone else on the show do not necessarily reflect those of WQAM, Beasley Reed Acquisitions, or the Beasley Broadcast Group.
No.
Now, Neil Rogers on Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Don't take any bullshit from him.
Todos somos los happy seniors. They're mucho happy when you come through their back door. Todos somos, they're hated by the poor. They met the Tijuana, well, reach it for the soul.
Los Homos, episode 3. Homo y no homo. Rock Hudson. Homo o no homo?
¿Homo?
Sí.
Está muy simple.
Okay, Ricardo Montalban. Homo o no homo?
Ricardo Montalban. Corinthian leather. Paquito Amigos tattoo. ¿Homo?
No homo. Muy macho.
Sí.
Okay. Richard Gere. Homo o no homo?
Oh, por favor. No homo. ¿Homo?
Sí y no.
¿Por qué?
A gerbil accidente. Por poquito gerbil.
Sí.
But what a way to go.
Todos somos los happy seniors. They're mucho happy when you come through their back door. Todos somos, they hope you come again. They'll see you mucho later when they see you in the end.
Hey, it's 10:01 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you from all your good paisans over here at QAM. Last night at the hockey game, I had people coming. I had 6,200 people come to me with requests for me to do one thing on the air today. Never had that before in my life. Do one thing. They said, whoever that jackass is with the tuxedo, they got something new and exciting at the Macarena because they just won't let you rest. Like I've told you for months now, they won't let your eardrums rest. There's no peace. If you're one of those people like yours truly, if I'm going to go take a leak, I run out there during the, when the little purple light, the pink light, whatever that light is, comes on, the commercial timeout. I run out, take a leak, and I come back because I don't want to miss the game. And in between periods, I'm not going to go out there in a hallway schmoozing and cruising and, I just sit there on my fat ass and wait for the game to start again. But they don't give you an opportunity to let you, like I said, your eardrums reset. There's always got to be a constant noise. There's got to be a racket. Pop, 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 pop. It just never stops. They don't give you a minute to breathe. So now the new and exciting thing is between periods they've got, and by the way, Bernie Diaz, is that the guy's name? Some spick. He who does like kind of a highlights and scoreboard. He does a good job. He's okay. I have no idea who he is, but he's all right. But they got some other clown.
He's an asshole.
In a tuxedo. And he's on there going around doing silly things in the crowd, like with little kids and more contests and more stupid ass crap. And he's got a real squeaky voice. I don't want to make any comparisons here. He's got a real squeaky voice like somebody on this station. Yeah, like him. Right, exactly. And just annoying as hell. And all these people are coming up, please rip this guy a major ass tomorrow. And I will. Get him out of there. Get him away from us, okay? We don't need this guy. First of all, asshole, it's a hockey game. Nobody comes to a hockey game in a tuxedo, jackass. Maybe come with a Panthers jersey on, something that might have to do with what's going on there. Not in a tuxedo. He looks like he's coming to an opera or something. Or like he's the ringleader at a circus. One of those clowns. Like he ought to be over there with Preston Hen and Sheriff Nick, sucking around on Sunrise Boulevard. Sir, it's not that it's personal because I have no idea who you are, what your name is. Maybe somebody in the audience, so maybe we'll get a spy report. Somebody knows this guy's name or where he came from. Somebody sitting next to me said, I think this guy works at your station. I said, I never saw him before because
he's an asshole.
And we have a few of those around the station, but he's not somebody I saw. Well, you give me a look. Like, you think you know who it is?
Oh, how would I know who it is?
Well, I mean, you're in your mind, you're going through the various assholes, and maybe by 2 o'clock, you'll narrow it down to the right one.
Could be.
Huh? See, nobody out there knows who this guy is. They don't know his name, and they don't want to know his name. All they want him to do is go away, say goodbye, okay? Now, I don't want to start the show this morning on a sour note, because being the bastard that I am and looking at life honestly and truthfully, there are a lot of emotional cripples out there. So what I'm about to say, maybe you want to stick your fingers in your ear for like 30 seconds, because both newspapers today. This is a horrible story. Anytime somebody young dies suddenly, like, and it happens a lot. Athletes, they're in training, they're in a game or whatever, and all of a sudden they just keel over and they die. And they discover they had some kind of a heart problem or some kind of a medical problem that nobody could have possibly discovered before. And that's nature. Oh, geez. Nature. A lot of you have bumper stickers on your cars or pickup trucks or whatever you're driving, your rig, your diesel thing that say crap happens. We can't say a shot happens. Can't say the real word because it's America. And that's really what life is all about. And these stories, now here on the front page of both of our newspapers today, even Dave Hyde has got a gut-wrenching story of a celebration of spirit about the kids from Boca High who went through and played their soccer game and won it yesterday. Nice going there, guys. Oh! Winning one for Vinny, for this kid that died the other day. And like I said, it's a horrible story, and we send our sympathies to the family and all of his friends, and I'm not a cold-hearted bastard, but it's just that every time something like this happens again, people say stupid things. And they do stupid things. For example, here on the front page of the Herald, winning one for Vinny. And here's one of the kids from just scored a goal, and he's holding Ronnie. I don't want to go into the whole thing, okay? But anyway, Ronnie is holding his finger up toward the sky in honor of Vinny, who is allegedly up there somewhere. Now, I don't want to get too graphic, but obviously he is not up there. He's pointing his finger in the wrong direction. But of course, if he were pointing his finger down, the superstitious hocus-pocus people out there, oh my God, he said he went to hell. No, that's not what that would mean. That would mean he's resting in a box in the ground comfortably somewhere, as in he's dead. But we do these things because, number one, we can't cope with death, especially the death of young people. But number two, because we're emotional cripples and we can't deal with the fact that nature doesn't discriminate. Nature is relentless. It just keeps churning along. You heard that deal about the survival of the fittest? Well, guess what? That's the way it works. Natural selection, all these things. And whether you want to deal with it, it's not a very pleasant thought.
All of these things
are sometimes very cruel and very, like I said, relentless. But that's, if you want to deal with philosophy, like I said, D and H do no harm, and nature is the nature. Crap happens. That's basically all you need to become a little more emotionally fit, as opposed to being the emotional cripples, which most people in America are. It's very sad. Maybe most people in the world are, I guess. Can't deal with death. And so you have to make up stories. Oh, he's in heaven now. There's no such thing as heaven. There's no such thing as hell. There's no such thing as the devil with a pitchfork. There's no purgatory, which is kind of like God's waiting room, I guess, or the devil's waiting room, all depending. Let me ask you, what happens with purgatory? How long do you hang out there? Does anybody know?
No.
Anybody?
No.
Yeah. It's very sad to me because and this is the way people deal with tragedy, with their sorrow, is they make up crap. And if it makes them feel better, I'm not going to take that away from them. But, geez, why does the media have to keep portraying these silly things? Because they're ridiculous.
All of these things.
Oh, he's in heaven. Now, he's not in heaven. There's nobody in heaven. Nature just keeps, like I said, and if you don't believe me, if you get to be old as I am, some of you are older, but most of you are probably younger, when you get to be my age and you've gone through all of the ailments and the prostate thing and the breast thing and whatever the hell you happen to be, and the fat and all the other things that you go through in life, you realize it's got nothing to do with God or the devil. It has to do with nature. That's all. All throughout history, you take a look at, man keeps intervening and screwing it up in every way he possibly can, but he can't hold it back. Can't stop it. Can't stop nature in its tracks. And nature doesn't pick on somebody because they're young or because they're old or because they're Jewish or because they're Catholic or because they're whatever, because they're good, because they're bad. They're evil. I remember years ago when I used to do those awful shows. And there was that one rabbi who wrote the book, Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People? You don't have to make something convoluted out of this. You don't have to make it complicated. Bad things happen to some good people, and good things happen to some bad people because crap happens, that's all. Nature is not selective in that sense. Nature doesn't pick and choose who gets lucky or who gets the heart attack. Genes have something to do with that, which is a part of nature. But that, again, is over and above all the hocus pocus. It has nothing to do with God, the devil, the tooth fairy, purgatory, any of that crap. See, this makes too much sense. You can't reduce things to something that makes so much sense. That's so easy. It's simple. It's not a pretty picture, but that's the way it is. So my philosophy of life is you do the best you can. DNH and do the best you can. Oh my God, you're so simplistic. Yeah. You don't need all these philosophers, all these experts, all these rocket scientists. You do the best you can, that's all. And do no harm. Wow. Mr. Philosopher there, that's right. All this other hocus pocus and all this superstition and all this fantasy, just get into the real world, baby. People who live on this planet right now ever got in the real world, man, it would be a hell of a lot better. It would be beautiful. It would be like almost a paradise hanging from your rearview mirror. But they just refuse to do it because they got to make up things to make them feel better. Okay. He's in heaven now. Whoever it is, okay, anybody that died that you liked, he's in heaven now.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Down on me. I want you down on me.
Okay.
Yes. You know there's always hope when you go down on the pole. Just go down on me. Yes. I want you down on me, my son. Dear Papa will be pleased if you make me hard. I might even make you my new mannequin garden. Be careful not to scratch or shoot it into my hand. And go down on me. Go way down on me. Take
Squirt, squirt.
I know you'll be impressed with what's inside my dress. I spread my legs for you. Go down on me. I want you down on me. Rub my buggaboos and kiss your mama's balloons. God bless you, my son. Go down on me. Does it smell like incense? Yes. You jump on my dress. Not canoe. No. Yes. 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 I lifted higher the Lord. I lifted higher in the name of the Lord.
10:15 at 560 WQAM. I wonder if the Pope uses canoe. You think so? Well, we'll get into that later. See, that business I just went through in the first 10 minutes, that should have been taped. That should be put on all over the world, in every language. Very simple. Nothing revolutionary. It's just too simple for people. They have to take simple things and make them complicated. Otherwise, you can't make any money, and you can't control people's minds. When things are very simple, common sense. Oh, common sense sounds like a communist plot to me, isn't it? Isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Thank you. By the way, Angela Ray makes me physically sick on Channel 4. Have you seen her now? We knew that they were going to be copying the Channel 7 thing because they hired the former assistant news director from Channel 7. But I always thought she was okay before, like I said the other day, even in spite of that grotesque thing on her upper lip. But she now has become such a silly, simpering, giggling idiot on that Channel 4 News. And that guy they brought in from out of town that's got the real red face that looks like he's got a real bad sunburn and melanomas will be breaking out any day. They're just killing themselves, man. Which, you know what? Well deserved. After what they did to Barbara Sloan, and after our good friend John Douchebag is retiring now. How can a guy like him, by the way, afford to be retiring now? Did you read that he's retiring? Yeah, he's getting out while the getting is good and claims to be retiring. Our good close personal friend John Douchebag at Channel 4. Yeah, more power to him. There you go. Nothing like early retirement if you can afford it, baby. He must have pictures, you know. He must have naked pictures of like maybe Brian Norcross, some of the other people. Who might it be?
Joe Zagacki.
Yeah, it might be him.
Okay.
Too. Speaking of Joe Zagacki, they had a little problem with the audio at the arena last night and during the pregame. Ties into something we were talking about yesterday, guys with a lisp. During the pregame, they had speaker problems as usual. And when they showed the highlight thing with Zagacki doing the voiceovers, everything he said, we either had like a Brian Murray syndrome or a bad lisp. And I kept thinking,
Joe Zagacki sucks.
But he does have a wife, you know. But I'm starting to wonder about him because he's not. No, it's really. Have you ever noticed how he's got that mouth with the kind of like fruity, like Barney Frank? Huh? Same kind of lip motion there. So and that's one of our poll questions. Do you think
Joe Zagacki sucks
or not? Speaking of the Macarena last night, by the way, kind of a ponderous game, but nevertheless, the positive and the negative. I tell it exactly the way it is. Good thing, little improvement there. They got the scores up there, the out-of-town games up in the corners. I mean, over and over. They kept right up to date. How's it going, guys? All right, you do something good, I'll tell you about it. But But the bad thing, you're not going to mention that again today, are you? Are you going to? Yes, I am. And the reason being that for the first time since I've been talking about this, which is like, let's see, October, November, December, 5 months. Almost 5 months I've been mentioning this. Nothing has happened to change it. Panthers' second goal. Ray Whitney, nice goal. Oh, geez, I forgot that today. You know what? Should have started the show with that, but I'm getting a little bit old.
Ray Whitney has a pair.
Attaboy, Ray. He's our hero. But nevertheless, when he scored his second goal, which tied the game again at 2 apiece, and it was from back at the blue line, and it was a shot that nobody saw, including Steve Shields, the goalie for San Jose. And first thing you know, it's in the net. And we're all sitting there. I look around, I'm sitting there, and like John and I, we're looking at each other, we're looking in the crowd, and 90% of the people are just sitting there for about 5 seconds, and then all of a sudden it's a goal, and everybody's like, hey, all right, you know, because there's no red light that you can see. No, maybe there are like 100 people sitting in that place can see that red light go on at that shoot twice in. Other than that, can't see it. And that's embarrassing. And I'm so glad that that happened last night because it goes to show that I've been right all along for these 5 months, that I'm the only person in South Florida that's got the chutzpah and the brains to say, what the hell is the point of going to a game when you don't know that somebody scored? That was pathetic. And if you were there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're all sitting there like, did that go in? I mean, is there something going on there? It's like yeah. Very, very sad. Pathetic. And then, of course, we got the big story on, I got so many things today, man. Just loaded with crap. On the Stone, the Circle. That's right. This is the big thing going on in town now. The Circle in downtown Miami. Miami Stonehenge, the ancient circle discovered at the mouth of Miami River, will be history soon unless state, county, and city officials step in to stop a developer poised to build on the mysterious artifact. Activists seeking to preserve the circle have argued that 4 human teeth found there may be proof that it was part of a burial ground, which would give the site protected status under state law. They found 4 teeth there. Now, what they neglected to say was that they were false teeth. So probably somebody got lost from Sunrise or Tamarack or Surfside, and maybe they stopped to do like a little number out there on that piece of land, which has been generally vacant for a hell of a long time. I mean, and they talk about the fact they're going to move it. Now, I realize I'm a little slow when it comes to many things. And I'm the first one to admit that in many areas I'm pretty goddamn dumb. But how do you move a circle? How do you move a artifact in the ground?
Piece by piece.
Jesus Christ.
They have to cut it up.
Yeah.
And haul it off.
And then put it all back together again.
Yeah, like
but what if some of it like crumbles, God forbid?
And it will.
I know, because it's a little stone in there, but there's a lot of like dirt. And dirt has, you know, I hate to break the news to you, but dirt has this habit of like crumbling.
There's no real stone in Florida. This is all coral.
Right, exactly. It is coral, exactly correct. And there's these teeth in there, and there may be shark's teeth, and there may be old Indians buried in there, and all kinds of stuff. And so the City of Miami Commission is having an emergency meeting today to deal with this very pressing problem, and the media have made a big, big song and a dance about this, and this is the number one issue in this town, which goes to show you what a horseball town this is. Are they going to destroy the circle? Is this developer going to build on this land? Of course, he's already put down like a fortune, an arm and a leg. 120. He's already got the permits to build his $126 million twin towers. So that's the big issue in town, is do we move the circle, jerk? And whose teeth are those really? Maybe Sonny Rosenberg stopped off there. Maybe those are Sonny Rosenberg's false teeth. John Ehrlichman is dead, by the way, at 73. One of the unctuous people of the Watergate era. Haldeman, Mitchell, Ehrlichman, and Dean. Although John Dean turned out to be a pretty good guy. And had a beautiful wife, by the way, but nevertheless. John Ehrlichman died at his home February 14th on Valentine's Day. See how God works in mysterious ways? I told you. And then it goes on to say he had diabetes. He had diabetes. I just mentioned that for any diabetics out there who may be like inundating their systems with fish food and candy and all kinds of sugar-laden crap. You can't do that because when you're diabetic and you start messing around with all these things, you wind up prematurely dead. Of course, I'm on the enforced Atkins right now. I have no choice. It's amazing. I'm like a prisoner of the Atkins. I have no choice. And I've lost like 4 pounds in 2 days. Huh? I'm at my lowest weight now in a long time. Not because I'm got any willpower, because I'm smart, but because I have no choice. Because I'm terrified that if I eat anything out of the ordinary, my blood sugar is going to go zooming up there, and I'm going to be very, like John Ehrlichman, prematurely dead. Although in his case, I think, would it be evil to say 73 was old enough in his case? Would that be wrong?
No.
No, I think you're right. My favorite story of the last 24 hours, this is the best. Saw it on TV this morning, saw the billboards from San Francisco. More than 30 overweight people chanted, "Eat me." Well, that's what they always yell in San Francisco. While performing aerobics on the sidewalk in front of a health club to protest a new ad campaign they say demoralizes fat people. The fat advocates banded together to protest a 24-hour fitness billboard campaign that depicts a hungry space alien and reads, "When they come, they will eat the fat ones first."
Oh!
Company officials say they did not intend to offend anyone. Sometimes humor helps make things easier and can even be motivational, 24-hour fitness officials said in their release. And I looked at that thing and I thought to myself, because we know everybody's uptight anyway. Everybody's got thin skin, fat skin, whatever they got. Everybody's looking for a problem, looking to sue somebody, looking to demonstrate, looking to show their dissatisfaction and their malcontentedness, if there's such a word. And my personal opinion on this, and I think I've got I've got a real good vantage point from which to view it, is that why the hell, and they had some guy in there this morning, of course it was in San Francisco, keep in mind, and he said, well, if the sign said when they come they will eat the homosexual, the gay people first, and they might just enjoy it. And he said, yes, that would be offensive because that's like, picking out a minority group. Now, fat people, of course, we're not a minority anymore in America. We've become a majority. Over 50% of the people in America are fat, obese. Obese. A staggering statistic. We're fatter than crap, man. We're gigantic. We're enormous. Maybe that's why QAM has got so many fat people in it. Maybe we're greatly representative of the rest of the American population. I sure hope not. We're fat. So why can't you make fun of fat people? Why can't you say, look at that fat slob, look at that ton of crap, look at that tub? I do it all the time. Only, of course, if they're fatter than I am. Huh? Well, no, if they're not fatter than I am, I mean, who the hell am I to be saying, look at that tub of lard if I'm fatter than they are? That's the height of hypocrisy. But I got news for you. I've been fat all my adult life. Once upon a time, tipping the scales at 266.
Boy!
26 years ago. 266. I was just a big walking tub of fat. See, the other things that they were talking about, like making fun of blacks or any minority groups, those people are what they are. It's not a choice thing in life. But when you're fat, it's a choice. Even though it's a tough choice, I'm not saying it's easy to lose, and I'm not saying that, but all these shows, remember what's her name? Toady Fields used to do those shows where it's fun to be fat. It's great to be fat. Shirley Peters used to, remember that crap? That's a cover-up for the fact that you're neurotic and psychotic about the fact you're fat. You're trying to say, oh, you're great because you're fat. Toady Fields, of course, how she's doing. So anybody seen her lately?
No.
Dead. Choked on a salami sandwich, I think. But what a way to go, huh? Choked on a big fat sandwich, probably at the Rascal House. Wouldn't surprise me. I gag just when I think about that joint and about the people that patronize it. But anyway, we're talking fat today, baby. Any fat slobs out there in this audience? And boy, you go to the hockey games. Woo! There are some, I don't know how those people sit in those seats. They must be like spilling over. They must have the armrest up their butt crack. Huh? Seriously. Talking about having a leg up on the competition. I can't imagine how some of those big fat tubs of lard, not all men either, by the way, sorry ladies, sit in those little narrow baby seats at the Macarena. Fat slobs. 560 WQ. I was driving home yesterday thinking, which is unusual for me, but I was thinking about that first call we had yesterday and the usual non-response to it, but I'm used to that. That idiot that called right off the bat, right out of the box, our first call of the week. I was thinking to myself, why were the Jews God's chosen people? Who wrote that stuff? You know who wrote that? The Jews. Oh. And why is it that only if you believe in Jesus will you go to heaven? Who wrote that? The Goyim. How do you like that? What? No,
all of his apostles
no, I'm
were
sorry,
Jews.
but they became Goyim. They invented Goyim. Paul. How can you say that? What? He invented it.
But he was Jewish.
He was Jewish. He was a Jew for Jesus. He was the first damn one. What's wrong with you, man? Gee, you're peeing on my parade now. It's an obvious point. See, when you make things simple, not complicated, very simple, and you scrape away all the extraneous bullcrap, you see how easy it is to figure these things out? There you go. Why torture yourself? Why go through life with that clutter in your brain? Seriously, When in doubt, empty it out. Unburden yourself from all that clutter in your brain between your ears there. Have room for important things like hockey scores, stuff like that. You know, worrying about, the good book says, and the man upstairs. That always kills me, man. The good man upstairs is looking down on me. And he's looking down on you. He must have tremendous eyesight. Not very good foresight, because even though he knows what's going to happen ahead of time, he keeps screwing up over and over and gets pissed off and has to put the locust down here and all these other plagues and drowning everybody. He gets bent out of shape, even though he knew ahead of time what was all going to happen. I mean, I'm telling you, folks, there isn't anybody with the IQ of a church mouse, with the IQ of a titmouse, if I can say that, who would believe these things. Seriously, how could anybody with an IQ larger than their little finger believe
all of these things?
I just can't buy it. I just can't deal with it. And so all these people out, the whole world, mostly this country, though, I mean, the fanatical countries, of course, we accept that because we really believe that we're not one of those, which is, of course, a major joke. Wrapped up in hypocrisy and bullcrap. Scrape it all away. It's all nature, man. Nature just does its thing. It just keeps rolling along. Crap happens. Just look at the bumper sticker on the back of your vehicle, okay? Shot happens, and it does. So every time and of course the jackasses in the media who have to keep playing to this because, you know, it's God and apple pie and motherhood and all this bullcrap. They don't want to offend anybody. Always have to play it safe. They're all there looking for answers. All these kids, all these tearful kids the other day, they were all at church looking for answers. There are no answers. Maybe there'll be an answer when the autopsy report comes back, but again, that's a natural answer. It has to do with nature, it has to do with health, it has to do with somebody's physical health or lack of. It has nothing to do with God. It has nothing to do with somebody was a good person, a bad person, an evil person, had skeletons in his closet. It has nothing to do with any of these things. But we go through life, like I said about Mike Lupica when he was on Hank's show a couple of weeks ago, talking about some dead jock up in the sky, and he's looking down. He's not looking down. He's rotting in a box somewhere. Why do we, even as we become adults, why do we have to talk on such a juvenile level that we know is just, feel-good kind of talk? I'm not into feel-good talk, I'm just into real talk. I just talk about things the way they really are. And a lot of people I discover, I think most people can't cope with that. They can't stand it. Oh, gee, you're saying all these things and it's, you can't say them. Why? Well, I don't know. I can't deal with it. Why? What's the problem? I mean, did Hitler get like terminal cancer at the age of 30 and die a premature death so we could save all those people? No. There are evil, rotten, nasty people who live to be like 90 and 100 years old, and there are good people who die like this soccer player, Vinny, when they're 17 years old. And everything in between. There aren't any spiritual answers for it. There's nothing to be looking for. Crap happens. Non-selectively, indiscriminately. It just keeps rolling right along. Nature. Long before we were here and long after we're long gone, the human race, nature will still be doing its thing relentlessly and infinitely, forever. Oh, you can't say these things. Okay, I won't. Here's a mobile in Delray Beach. Hello.
Morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Listen, speaking of fat in the arena, I've got a person sitting next to me in section 112 that ought to be paying for half of my seat.
Yeah.
I'm serious. And you got somebody 2 seats down that's pretty big.
There was a guy last night there a couple of seats down that was pretty hefty.
He
was squeezed in the one seat, though. I noticed he didn't move an awful lot either, which is, I guess, pretty good because he was squeezed in there pretty tight.
He couldn't because the cup holders were in the way.
Uh-huh.
Hey, listen, pitiful defensive performance in our own zone, huh?
What's there to talk about? Okay, it was another one of those awful games,
Very bad.
Very disappointing. Very mediocre would be a compliment.
I agree. Well, keeping a watch.
Now you sit. Now where you sit, do you see the red light?
No, and I sit almost right behind the goal in the kitty corner, and I still can't see it.
Now, did you notice when Whitney got the second goal there to tie the game, which ordinarily would have been a very explosive moment in the arena, that most of us were sitting on our ass for at least several seconds until we realized, oh, guess what, it's a goal because nobody can see the red light. Did you notice that?
Yeah, not only that, but there was some question as to whether it was high stick, remember? I thought actually Mellenby had
it looked like it hit off something, but it happened so fast. But the point is that the red light went on, and nobody knew that it was in the net. That's the point, because we don't have a red light that anybody can see. And there you go again. Neil is right one more time.
You're right, but I'll tell you what, Ray Whitney is God.
Thank God for him.
See ya.
Okay. By the way, bad news for Panther fans. I don't want to say I told you so. Some people were coming up to me yesterday morning here in the station, and then last night before the game and saying, oh, when's he coming back? When's Pavel? I said, when he's good and ready. And they looked at me like, well, what do you mean by that? Well, you'll find out. Bure on hold is what it says here in the paper this morning. Right wing Pavel Bure was reevaluated by Panthers orthopedic surgeon David Atarian before the game, but nothing has changed with the status of his knee injury.
Boy!
It says. So like he'll be back one of these days.
Anybody have a heart or a liver?
No.
Having blonde hair and being real tall. Oh, a Swedish thing. Making those little tasty meatballs. Oh, a Swedish thing. They all have two eyes in their heads, and they might come from Stockholm. You know that Nobel Prize came from there. Yeah, sure, a Swedish thing. Dag Hammarskjöld. And Ace of Base. These are some Swedish things. Being really good at alpine sport. Oh, a Swedish thing. And being crazy about Bjorn Borg. Oh, a Swedish thing. They like to drop bombs or a stop in 3 feet of snow. They didn't fight in World War II. Yeah, sure, a Swedish thing. A Swedish thing.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. 10:45 at 560 WQAM. So anyways, one more note on the hockey game last night. It's not really about hockey. It's about young girls with real bad taste. Last night, teams come out for the pregame skate, and here comes San Jose out there. And Mike Ricci, who's one of the ugliest, forget about sports athletes, one of the ugliest human beings who ever stepped on the face of the earth, he comes out, and all of a sudden, and this goes on in every rink, by the way, in the league. There are about a dozen of these young 10, 12, 14-year-old girls with their faces pressed against the glass, just emoting and blowing kisses to him, and he's laughing and waving back. I'm serious. This man is so ugly with the long, unkempt hair and the nose that could just maybe the nose is like a phallic thing to them. That could be it. I mean, the glass was moist. They were like slathering onto the glass. They're trying to get over the top of the glass just to reach out and grab. I mean, good news for a lot of people, I guess, that women have very bad taste in men. So ugly and grotesque, I wouldn't touch him with your hand, okay? I'm looking at a board here this morning, and it looks to me like this should have been a good vacation week for me. This is unbelievable. I was just saying to George, I mean, and nowhere else in the world, in the history of mankind, even in Geneva, New York, I could have done the first 40 minutes that I did here this morning and have a whole bunch of people willing to talk about any of these things that I talked about. There is not a call on this board. Yesterday was brutal. Even for a Monday, it was especially brutal. Today, obviously, is going to be even worse. They have nothing to say about anything. This is the week that the town ran dry. Oh! Let's hear it. They have nothing. 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. Is this station on the air? There are so many days I come in here, I go through my song and a dance for a half hour, 20 minutes, 40 minutes in this case, and I wonder to myself, are we really on the air? Is this just an exercise? Is it like a dry run? Huh? It's gotta be. We can't really be on the air. I mean, there can't be that many stiffs out there walking around in this town. It's astonishing. It's amazing to me. And believe me, the deficiency isn't on this end. I guarantee you that, okay? I'm impressed by the stuff I had to say today. I'm blown away by it, so to speak. I'm blown away. But man, you people talk about slow starters. Maybe like I've said before, it's this radio station, okay? Maybe it's Este Radio Estación. It could be. Because I've been doing this for 622 years. I've never encountered such a dead group as this audience, this call-in audience, man. They don't exist. There is nothing you can say to prod them, to poke them, to arouse them, to interest them, other than, hey, want some free tickets? Which is really scintillating radio, by the way. God. And I wonder how come I'm the only one that says like about something as simple as the goal light at the hockey game, and I'm the only one that has anything to say about it or even gives a crap? These people are on a different wavelength, okay? They're on a different planet. They're the early bird crowd, the late bird. I don't know what they are. I mean, like last night, here we had two local events. We had a Heat game and a Panther game on the same night. Both the sellout at the Heat game, 18,700 even for San Jose on a Monday night. Great job, by the way. The people showed up last night. Nice going. And it still doesn't mean anything, because most of them still haven't got any idea why they were there, what was going on. Here's Miami. Hello. Okay, thank you. Here's a mobile in Pompano. Hello. Mobile in Pompano.
Hey, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Great.
I want to talk to you about the game last night. Did you see, like, in the first period where the judge turned the light on?
Yeah, briefly, the goal judge screwed up. Yeah, that happens. He panicked. He froze on it.
You're right, and Ricci has got to be the ugliest person on earth.
Uh-huh. Maybe if there was an optometrist in the crowd, he could have helped all those young girls down there by the glass that were oozing all over the place. I'm serious. They were foaming at the mouth for Mike Ricci. He makes me look like Brad Pitt. And have a great day. Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 2 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
I hate the Heat. I hate the Panthers. I hate the Dolphins. I hate the Marlins.
Yeah.
I hate the Haitians.
Uh-huh, okay, great. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Yeah, hi, this is Long Run.
Okay. Okay, that's what we got here today. Zippo, nothing. Have we had a real call in here yet today?
No.
No. Are we going to get any real calls?
No.
Okay, take a few days off, Neil. I mean, you show up every day and get the spots in. But this part of the show, I mean, any kind of response, any kind of verbal intercourse here today? No. I mean, you're like, you're talking too much sense here. They can't deal with it. They can't cope with it. They're all like mouth breathers is what they are. Let's see how long it takes before we get our first real call of the day. It might actually take till like 2 o'clock. Yesterday we started out with a real, I'm not saying he was a real caller, but at least he was very entertaining and amusing and bizarre. And then that was the last one of the day. Maybe we'll do it in reverse today. Maybe 1:55 we'll get a scintillating call today. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
And Neil, I got to tell you something. I hate basketball, but one thing that really pisses me off is these players, especially Patrick Ewing.
Uh-huh.
And his comment earlier in the season when the NBA was playing.
Something that's old news, sir. Nobody cares about that. We have an open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I talked about that at the time, way back, about we can't put any bread on the table and yada, yada. Nobody cares about that, all right? So don't be monkeying around with Patrick Ewing. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
I don't know yet.
Not
I'm
too
trying
well,
to figure it out. Well, I'm doing great. The audience is on, they're under the weather, I guess.
About the Panther
Or
game
under the
last night.
desk.
Is it my imagination or is Bobby Spala playing in a fog lately?
He's the worst. He's a disaster. Him and Dizzy Spacek. You can't complain about the defense on his team because they don't have any.
They don't have any. I mean, it is
Sean
gruesome.
played. They don't have any defense. If it weren't for him, they would have scored 10 last night.
Absolutely. I mean,
I'm going to tell you another thing. They had 2 blind referees out there last night. And this is so typical of the so-called Panther fans. There were like 9 penalties that the Panthers, flagrant penalties that the 2 referees didn't call. 2 of them they used last night. And then later on in the game in the 3rd period, there was a flagrant penalty by San Jose that the referee missed. And then we go, hey, ref, you suck. And I thought to myself, boy, you guys are chutzpah. You're so lucky that San Jose didn't have like 10 power plays in that game. And here are the same morons over there on the far side. That's all they know, man. It's like, put it on a cassette. It's a stuck record. Hey, ref, you suck. People that know nothing.
I came out to the game. I brought a friend of mine out to the game last night.
Yeah.
We had a good time. The first period, it looked like they were peppering the net, and their goalie just kept them in the game. But after that, we were lucky to escape with a tie. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Have a great day. So what was his point? Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes,
How are
sir.
you?
Okay.
You made a misstatement earlier. You said that Paul was the first Jew for Jesus.
Yeah.
The original 11 of the first 12 were prior to Paul's conversion.
Well, what difference does that make?
Well, you just made a misstatement. I wanted to correct you.
Yeah.
The very large majority.
Was I wrong about the fact that the apostles are the ones that invented Christianity?
Christ, the church was created
by
and
90 years after he died.
And at the turn of the century, they were majority Jewish. 30 years after he died, and that's a very
90
fair,
years after he died.
30 to 90. The book of First
90 years after. Well, what difference does it make? Long after he was
40 to 50
dead.
years. There's 40 to 50 years between the book of 1 John,
Sir,
in the book of
the
Revelation.
point I made was, and you can't refute it, is it was a self-serving thing. The Jews wrote the Old Testament, and it said that the Jews were God's chosen people. Well, it doesn't take more than a 3-year-old to figure out the reason that they would write that.
How is it self-serving if they died for the cause, Neil?
Died for what cause?
10 of the 12 original apostles
How about
died.
all the Jews that died in the Inquisition and the Crusades? How about that? What cause did they die for? Because they didn't want to be made an offer they couldn't refuse? Sir, again, you're doing what all the religionists always do. You're dancing away from my point. And that is that all religious books are written to be self-serving. All religions are made up for the benefit of the people who invented that religion. You know that.
I would have really enjoyed dealing with each one of your questions. I'll answer the first one you just asked, the self-serving. When man gets involved, there's errors made in every aspect of religion, and that is a whether it's a
How did man get involved in the Old Testament when God handed the 5 books to Moses? How did man get involved?
Because Moses himself said, God, I can't do this. I don't want to do this, and God said, let me do it.
Sir, let me ask you this question. Have you ever seen a picture of Moses?
I've seen man's interpretation.
Have you ever seen a picture of Moses?
I've seen man's interpretation, yes.
Why can't you just answer me a question, answer? Have you ever seen a photograph?
There was no Polaroid taken of Moses back then, but yes, I've seen pictures, the same pictures you have.
I thought the guy yesterday was good. Here we go. We got a guy today who has seen photographs. I asked him very specifically, have you seen photographs of Jesus? And he keeps saying yes. I'm waiting for him to say,
no.
Okay, give me an honest answer. Sir, it's you want to make it very complicated. That's the only way people like you can think you win an argument, by going into all this gobbledygook. It's not necessary. Simple. Whichever group wrote a bunch of bullcrap, whether it was the Buddhists, whether it was the Jews, whether it was the Christians, whether it was, you would fill in a blank. They wrote it for their own purpose. Whoever believes what they believe, they're the ones that are going to get salvation. They're going to go to heaven. They're the chosen people. Yada, yada, over and over and over again. Every religion. They got the true answers, and everybody else go to hell. How do you like that? And he was going through that bullcrap too when he said,
go to hell.
Yeah, I like that. They died for the cause. Well, you know something? There's a lot of people who died. The people of Jonestown died for the cause. The Do-Re-Mi people, they died for the cause. You know what that proves to me? It proves to me they were crazy is what it proves to me. Maybe they like Jell-O pudding. I don't know. Maybe they were thirsty down there in Jonestown. Maybe they like purple Kool-Aid. Of course, that purple, you know what that means now, don't you?
Uh-huh.
That's right. Why is it that you ask a simple question to these people and they go, but they have to do like a verbal tap dance right through the telephone? But I'm delighted, sir. Maybe one day you'll send us copies of those photographs you have of Moses. Is that going to be holy Moses?
Uh-huh.
Probably. There was no such person as Moses. The only Abraham that I know was Abraham Solomon, my grandfather, who died long before I was born. I don't know any of these. These people, most of them never existed. These are fables. These are fairy tales. Very simple point I made, and he's all bent out of shape about it. It's simple. The Jews were God's chosen people because they wrote the crap. Very easy. Wow, is that complicated?
No.
Jesus. Oh, sorry.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Oh!
If you loved George Martin's recent farewell CD, In My Life, featuring famous Beatles tunes recorded by such tone-deaf celebrities as Jim Carrey, Robin Williams, Goldie Hawn, and Sean Connery, you'll absolutely flip over his newest last adventure, In My Life, Volume 2, the follow-up to the original CD he had no business making in the first place. Hear Jack Nicholson.
I am the Eggman. We are the Eggmen. I am the walrus. Freaking chew, man.
George Martin's In My Life, Volume 2, also features Jerry Lewis.
Hey, lady, Madonna, children at your feet.
Paul Reiser.
I'm thinking, the love you take is equal to the love you make. This is what I'm saying. Is it just me?
Here, Sir George coaxed the best out of Matthew Chandler Perry from Friends.
Could there be more lonely people?
So what are you waiting for? Pick up George Martin's In My Life, Volume 2, today. After all, it's easier than flying to New York to spit on John Lennon's grave.
This is Tom Brokaw in New York. I read the news today. Oh, boy. I'll see you tonight.
11:02 at 562. I'll tell you a religion that I might start paying attention to is one where they say, we're all going to hell, but it's the Catholics, they're going to heaven. Or it's the Buddhists, the Hindus. Yeah. Then there's a religion I'd say, well, wait a minute, maybe these people are actually a little bit more honest, or, instead of just another bunch of self-serving fools making up a bunch of crap for their own fun and profit. This guy before, if you want to, engage me, I've wasted too much time in my life with those kind of discussions. Like I said before, all of these things, very simple. Just scrape away all the BS, okay? If you want to believe, like the reason I played the Howard Beale thing in Network, he says, I'm as mad as Moses. Crazier than a bedbug is what that means, okay? But this guy's got photos of Moses, so we better take a look first before we make any rush to judgment. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. It just makes my blood boil when I hear these supposedly intelligent people talking such crap like a bunch of infants in a sandbox. Oh, Moses did this, and Moses did every time man gets involved, he screws it all up. Yeah, that's the problem. God couldn't get on his Gutenberg printing press up there in heaven and just print all this stuff out for us and make it real simple, or put it on, every time we have the Virgin Mary, instead of on the big sign there in Times Square where they can see it all over the world on satellite TV. Instead of that, she shows up on the side of a bank building in Clearwater.
How about skywriting?
Or on a pizza at Rosa Lopez's house, which we missed 3 days ago, by the way. Yeah, skywriting would be good. Well, the people that see God's face and Abe Lincoln and all up in the clouds, they probably have already seen that good stuff. Don't you remember Daniel in the lion's den? And there was all that writing from God. We're talking crazy people, man. Oh, yeah, but that's only lately, like Jim Jones and David Koresh. Yeah, that's only lately we've had crazy prophets, right. Just remember, he's as mad as Moses. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Pavel Bure.
Okay, here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Neil. I'm kind of listening to your dialogue and very much agree with your contention as far as conventional religions are concerned.
Conventional religions?
Well, in the terms of whether it be Catholic, Jewish, Presbyterian, things that most common day folk would align themselves with. What is your take on religion, not necessarily religion, but let's say spirituality? Is there something?
Well, that's one of my least favorite words, spirituality, because it's a gobbledygook word. It doesn't mean a damn thing. What does it mean? When somebody says, like our friend Rob Kaplan, who used to work at Whammy, by the way, I guess he wasn't spiritual enough for them. He's not there anymore. But when he was working with us here, we were doing the TV show, and he used to say, I'm a very spiritual person. And I used to say, what does that mean? And he'd go, I don't know.
Well, I think
it sounds good.
Well, what it means is that you actually you believe in a higher being, but you're not
now, see, but there you go again with the God bull crap. What does that mean, higher being? What does that mean? What is the higher being?
It means
being
there's
what?
an energy force that's
nature.
That's not
you believe in nature. That's what it is.
Yeah,
nature.
Maybe it
so
could
why
be
can't
nature.
now nature is a dirty word. Everything else is a dirty word. We can't say, and we can't say nature either. That's a dirty word.
No. You're mistaking. You're missing.
Why do you have to be spiritual to believe in nature? Nature's the ultimate force in the universe. Nature's what keeps everything grinding around, not some unseen guy or woman or Diesel Dyke or whatever it is up there in wherever they're on a throne somewhere. Now, can't you look at this like some kind of a silly little fairy tale?
Well, what about
like
karma?
Santa Claus?
What about karma? So there's no energy force that's carried when you die. So that's it. There's no There's no energy that leaves you. There's nothing. There's no karma. That's it. That's the beginning. That's the end, and there's nothing else.
You want an answer to that question, sir?
Yeah.
Yes. You're dead. That's the answer. When you die, you die.
Could be, but...
what do you mean could be? It's science. When you step on a cockroach, you stand there and you stand back and wait to see the karma kind of like filter off into the etheric somewhere? Is that what happens? If somebody goes out and shoots a raccoon in the neighborhood, if they shoot a coon in the hood, they wait to stand back and see the karma zipping off into the outer reaches of the universe?
No, but...
It's ludicrous on the face of it. You can't accept death, sir. We are born... Let me say it again. I know this is a very sad thing, but that's the way nature works. Nature doesn't play favorites. If you look at a flower, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you plant a seed in the ground and you watch it grow, and you watch it bud, and then the leaves come, and it's beautiful for a short period of time, depending on what kind of flower, like a rose. And then it wilts, and then it gets dark in color, and then the leaves fall off, and it dies.
Right.
That's it. Every kind of life on the face of the earth is exactly like that. And that's just a microcosm of all life on the earth.
So there's no connection between the death and the birth of anything else?
Now we're not talking silly stuff like reincarnation, are we, sir?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Do you think we have a shortage of people in the world now? With 5 billion people? I can remember when there were 2 billion, 1.8 billion people in the world. There got over 5 billion people. Do you think that we need to be transplanting souls, if there were such a thing, from one person to another? How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know, Neil.
It's like all the hysteria about cloning people. I don't know what difference it makes. We already have identical twins. You can clone all the people you want. It doesn't make any difference because they're not the same person. They're still individual people. They can all look alike, but they're still individual people.
Right.
Right?
Well, it could be, but I don't know.
What do you mean? Why is it complicated? What is it that I'm saying that you don't understand?
It's not that it's complicated. It just certainly seems like there would be something either connecting us either to the future or the past or
like why? Why would that be?
Well,
have you? Now, I don't know how long you've lived, but have you noticed anybody from the past coming back?
I certainly can't.
I mean, if you drive by a cemetery, do you hear any knocking sounds like people on the inside knocking to try to get back out? Have a great day, pal.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Knock 3 times. Yeah, come on, maybe they'll let you out. See, and I do want to say this to you, okay, because we have a lot of superstitious people out there. Don't be cremated, because if they ever come up with a cure to bring you back to life, don't be cremated, because then they can't bring the ashes back to life. But if your body is still there in pretty good shape and aren't they going to be digging up all the dead people and bringing us back to life? Huh?
No.
In a couple of thousand years, we'll wake up and say, gee, that was a good sleep. Man, I needed that rest. So don't get yourself cremated because you throw those ashes over there in the Biscayne Bay or something. Man, you got no chance. Just a thought. Well, I got to give them something to hang on to. Don't you understand? At least, what? At least there's a possibility there that you might make a comeback someday. It's certainly more scientific and more rational than all of this supernatural hocus pocus he was talking about, this spirituality. That's another man-made word that doesn't mean a goddamn thing. I'm a very spiritual person. Yeah, that means you're probably doing it with your priest. We have an open line at Broward, 2 and Dade, 5670560, pound 560.
Sportsback Radio, WQAM. All right.
Honey, I know we haven't had sex in a long time, but are you sure it's not too soon after the operation?
Heck no, I'm ready and raring to go.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hey, what the hell are you doing in our bedroom?
Wait a minute.
Why?
It's that Duracell guy from TV.
Say, I see you've got one of those newfangled penile implants.
Yeah?
What kind of batteries you got in there?
In where?
In the implant.
It doesn't use batteries, you dork.
No kidding. Hey, anything else in here use batteries?
Wait a minute.
Look, buddy.
How about this double-headed dildo?
Put that down.
Wow, look at it squirm. What kind of batteries you got in this puppy?
Duracell.
That's what we use in all our marital aids.
And why's that?
Because Duracell lasts longer.
Yeah.
I can see why that would be important.
Well, it's for her mostly. She's frigid.
I am not. I've had orgasms with all the others.
What others?
Why don't I just let myself out?
Duracell. No other battery lasts longer.
I suppose you want to screw him, too.
Okay, it's 11:15 at 560 QM. The reason I played that, see, there's always a reason. There's always some sinister reason there, is because I'm thinking of this last guy that called about the energy. We know Linda Energy, right? She's full of crap. But I'm thinking, I said to George during the break, if maybe they stuck an Energizer bunny in your rectum, that you would, and an Energizer bunny in your ass, and a Timex watch in your heart. Then you could keep going and going and going, as in like that, and then you could take a licking and still keep on ticking, huh? There you go. Bring back that goddamn John Cameron Swayze. Let's dig him up. He ought to be ready for a comeback. They can't accept death. When you die, you're dead. Oh, no. How can you say that? We don't go anyplace else? There isn't something better than this? I don't know. What's so bad about this? I mean, if your life is that bad, there's always that option out. What the hell's wrong with it? Here's Miami. Hello.
You're such an asshole.
Yeah.
You're
And?
dick.
Okay, thank you. Name is Neil. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560. See, there's the good argument you get from the audience. There's the kind of logical response you get. They can't deal with it. They can't. Of course, he's listening. Thank you for listening to 560 QAM, sir, where you'll hear Hank at 2 and Bookster at 6, Ed Kaplan and the Gambling Show at 10. Somebody asked Ed last night, is there a heaven? He said, don't bet on it. Here's Tamarack. Hello. Tamarack.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Frank. Frank from Publix.
What is it?
Frank.
Oh, hi, Frank. How you doing?
How you doing?
Speak up. Speak into that thing with the holes in it, Frank. I can
Hello?
There you go.
All right. I'm out of school again.
Yeah.
I got suspended.
Kicked out?
Yeah. For
making a habit of that. What did you do?
Friday. I told the teacher off again.
What did you say? F off?
No, I told him he stinks up the class.
Yeah.
You know, and now I called him up. It's crazy. So
Well, it's a good way to get some good time off, I guess, some good quality time in bed.
yeah, I got to go work on my dad.
Yeah.
I got to go help him. He does the tile, you know.
Oh, there you go.
So I make money.
Exactly.
What are you guys talking about religion?
What do you mean by that?
What are you guys talking about on the radio? What is that? You guys have an argument about religion?
No, there's no such thing as religion, so there's nothing to argue about. It's all bullcrap.
You think so?
I know so.
What about Catholics?
Like I said, Frank, I hate to break the news to you.
You don't believe there's no Moses.
Just stay away from that Pope, Frank.
That's
Stay
it.
the hell away. Stay away from those priests.
Yep.
When they try to lock the door from the outside in the confessional, just break your way out and run like hell.
So what do you think about that tie game with the Panthers?
It was ponderous. Pretty
Were you
weak.
there?
I was there.
Yeah.
Pretty weak.
Yeah, I know.
My advice is always take a good book.
I know, right?
Okay, don't do it again, Frank.
I won't.
I'll see you at Publix.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that's Frankie who keeps getting suspended from school. Well, he's really just skipping out. He wants to hear the show. And I can't blame him. We have an open line in Dade, one in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Waiting for some really intelligent people here today who can really tell it like it is, okay? Because I'm wrong, as usual. I'm full of crap. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a bad guy trying to pee on everybody's parade. I'm just not a spiritual person. I'm just a cold-hearted bastard that says that when somebody dies, he's not up there in heaven. Let's point up there. This is for you, baby. Up there, somewhere, up there. People acting like, you know, it's amazing with all the technology we got. We build all these horrible nuclear weapons, and we build these amazing computers and all these discoveries that the biochemists come up with, all these amazing things that we can do. And yet, emotionally, the human race is still like in kindergarten. They're still like at nursery school. They haven't even been packed off to kindergarten yet. They're still in nursery school on an emotional level. Oh, but the good book says. Here's a mobile in Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. How you doing, Neil?
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Look here, I've been listening to you for a lot of years, man. I want to let you know, don't get upset at the people out here. You know how people is down here. They're dead. You know that, yeah?
What is it?
After people that are dead, you know people cannot come back alive.
Yeah.
So you know how it goes. You have been on radio for a lot of years. And you've been had an audience for a lot of years. And you know you have an audience that down here in South Florida.
And they're not coming. And they're not coming back either. Thank God.
No, like that. No.
That's right.
No, you're right. They're not coming back.
Right.
You can't make them come back.
Amen.
But just keep on moving on what you're doing, because you are a very good host. You know, just keep it up.
I'm the host, and you know what you do with the wafer and the host, don't you, sir? Okay, have a great day, pal. See ya. Open wide. We have an open line in Broward, 5670560. Well, what are you laughing about? Isn't that what you do with that wafer? They stick a wafer in their mouth. They're drinking that wine. Oh, my God. And let me say it again. If your priest had his lips on that cup, don't go anywhere near it. Don't go anywhere near it if
Father O'Toole
had his lips on it, and the cup, too. Because you know all the stuff that's going around these days. Oh, by the way, there's Joe Costello, who was a star at the hockey game last night. He got his puss on the big screen up there, waving like a real ham bone. Just caught a little glimpse of that. I said, oh, there's Joe Costello. Yeah, uh-huh. Here's a mobile in Sunrise. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Neil.
sir.
How are you?
Great.
You know, you're really ruffling the fanatics' feathers today with that religion, aren't you?
What do you mean by that? I'm talking common sense.
Yes, you are.
I laid it out there very simplistically. There's nothing complicated here. Very simple.
You know what
People
it is?
invent things for their own purposes, and then they start screaming at everybody else that I'm better than you are. And they're all full of crap.
There was an old commercial that used to say, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature.
Right.
And that's what they're trying to do.
That's
they're trying
right.
to give someone else credit, and it's Mother Nature.
They can't even accept Mother Nature. They have no respect. See, it's a very good excuse for not respecting nature and just destroying it in everything you do in your wake because, well, you know, it's nature's not important. There's some higher power than all of that, you know. Bull crap.
Tell them to dig up some of their grandparents that are supposedly in the ground or
Right.
and
you know something? When they open up the box, I hate to break the news to them, they'll still be there.
hey, and they'll still try to
I mean, you
steal
can't.
the ring.
How can you go bowling in heaven when you're just a spirit, when you have no body? You know what I'm saying? You always talk about when it thunders, you say the nuns are bowling up there. How can they be bowling in heaven when they have no body?
You know, there's no winning when you argue religion
Yeah.
with anyone.
Oh, I always win because I get some sadistic sense of enjoyment from rattling these people's cages.
And what was that guy talking about before me? I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Yeah. Well, he'd be speaking bubonics. He's got a bad phone. Yeah. Have a great day, pal.
Bye.
God bless you. Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 5670560. In God we trust. God bless you. Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bad. Neil God, you know. I mean, if it makes you feel better to talk this way, go ahead. You know, the words that I want to say on the air that I can't say make a lot more sense than God. If I want to say it's a pile of I mean, people don't know what that means. They'd say it all the time. Oh, no, the government will be all bent out of shape if you say that. What is that?
Chris's cell phone.
Another date? Yeah, I mean, that's all it could possibly be. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
I agree with you on the subject of religion. I believe in the theory of evolution and everything. But I'd like to change the subject for a second. I got a question to ask you. Is it legal for the cops to break the traffic laws like they do in their cars?
Unless another cop comes along and pulls them over, which happens about twice a year all over the country.
I'm just saying, shouldn't they make another cop to another?
Sir, this is as ridiculous as religion. You're living in a fantasy world now. They've got the authority, they got the badge, they got the uniform, they got the gun, they got the power, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want to do. Their motto is, don't do as I do, do as I say. That's
kind of like a parent.
Huh?
Kind of like a parent.
Exactly. Like a teacher, like a parent. Don't do like a politician. Don't do as I do, do as I say. I say all the good things that sound great, and I do whatever I want. That's their motto.
All right, I just wanted to...
And my best advice is don't screw with them.
All right, like the show.
Have a great day. Again, you can live in the real world, or you can live in fantasy land where you have everything like, well, this is the way it ought to be. Well, guess what? That's not the way it is. I mean, sure, I don't disagree that cops ought to obey the law, but pretty much they do whatever the hell they want and usually get away with it. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I'm coming to work yesterday morning down Ives Dairy Road here, and there's a little dark-complected guy in a little beat-up old brown Corolla behind me. We get through, of course, there's no school yesterday, so I'm going in the 30. I'm going about 38, 40, right through where that school is. And this guy's up on my ass like a lunatic. He wants to go 90 on Ives Dairy Road. Finally, we get another couple of blocks up the street, and he can't take it anymore, okay? I'm going the same speed as everybody else, but he's behind me. He pulls around me into the passing lane, the center lane, which is for passing only, and for the turn lane, for turning only. He passes me in that lane, goes by me 80 miles an hour on Ives Dairy Road. There was a cop sitting on a corner with another one of his speed traps over there, paying no attention. Every time I've ever seen this happen in my life, which I see it a zillion times, guys zooming by in the wrong lane, 50 miles over the speed limit. Have I ever seen a cop pull them over?
No.
Not once. But if you're going 7 miles over the speed limit and the cop happened to look up at the right time, you're screwed. Nice going, by the way, you porkers. When are you going to get some of these banana boat people in their little brown Corollas off the goddamn road already, huh? Man, lunatic. And it's interesting that there are certain types of people, I don't want to say anything about who they are or what they are, on Ives Dairy Road where I'm coming to work every morning, and they just talk about making up the rules as they go along. There are no rules. They just do whatever the hell. They're all over the road as fast as they want to be. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Long-time listener, second-time caller.
Okay.
I agree with you on this religion thing. It's all a pile of crap.
Yeah.
And I would just want to step off of that for a second and talk about hockey. I got turned on to hockey with you, and I was watching the San Jose game last night.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of the second period, I don't know who was the commentator last night, Pavin? Denise?
Same ones that are on the game every night, sir. Jeff Rimmer and Denise Potvin.
Well, he said at the end of the second period that the score was 1-0. The Panthers were leading.
Yeah. And they were behind. Well, so what difference does it make? In other words, he made a mistake, and you called me to tell me that he made a mistake? Thank you. There's a great call to a radio show. Oh, the announcer made a mistake. Just like I had a fax here that Rimmer said it was the Flyers last night instead of the Sharks. Oh, you made a mistake. Unbelievable. We have an open line in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. If I were you, sir, I'd be rubbing my rosary beads all day, just hoping to get forgiveness for that call. But I don't think it'll happen. I was once Shirley MacLaine in a prior life. Did you know that? Uh-huh.
Hey, where you going? Come here. I want to tell you something.
Oh, man, don't you ever take a bath?
What are you talking about? Where you going? morphine goes down. Check it out. I can blow bubbles out of my nose. And obnoxious fat producers do. I didn't do it. I know. His hairy ears are oozing down. We name them like pets. And in fact, that smell will make you. Thinks his jokes are funny. Now went up my shoes, get it? But everyone's disgusted and scared. Walks through hallways sideways. And he's covered with gorilla hair. Mama says he's okay. He's such a handsome young man. Leave him alone. We're not too sure what's going on there. Stay away from me. Oi! Josh Friedman. Samuel thinks he's funny, but he's no Stan Major. I'm funnier than him. Don't come near me. Josh Friedman. See, look, I can squeeze this cheese out of my belly button and sell it by the pound. Got so fat his guts exploded. Spewing wretched bile all over the roof. There's staples up and down his moving, just to hold in all that greasy old food. Stay away from me, Josh Friedman. Yeah, you think I care if Chris Moore don't like me? I don't think he does. Don't come near me, Josh Friedman. Come here. Smell my fingers. Don't it smell like scrotum juicer? When someone calls you an asshole.
It's 11:33 at 560 QM. He is an asshole, by the way. We just had a spy report in the skybox, in the QM skybox last night. Al Leiter was one of the former Marlins pitcher. Al Leiter, along with his daughter, they were sitting in there trying to enjoy the Panthers game. Unfortunately, Fat Josh Friedman, our unctuous, much despised producer, was in there at the same time, sucking heavy duty. I mean, sucking heavy, so heavy that Al Leiter finally got up with his daughter and said, "Let's get the hell out of here. I can't take another second of it." Oh boy, that slap shot was just as hard as one of your fastballs, like an Al Leiter fastball. And, just sucking and sucking up and acting like a real jackass and just not giving this man one moment's peace. Nice going there, Josh. And see, so we go back to the thing about fat people, which I had no response of, because there are a lot of you that are fat tubs out there. I'm fat, but I got news for you. I'm skinny compared to many of you folks, you big fat slobs. I mean, Al Goldstein's a big fat slob, but he's a good guy and a good friend. I mean, I'm not saying fat people are bad people. There are good fat people like Al Goldstein. Then there's Josh Friedman and Jeff High. People who some of them are objectionable, some of them are full of crap. Oh, man, in fact, you can feel the whole building shake when they take one. We have an open line at Broward, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello. Mobile in Miami.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Neil. How you doing today?
Okay.
Good. Did you hear that speech with Billie Jean King last night? He accepted that award.
No.
No. Horrible speech. Horrible speech. One lesbo to the other giving out awards there.
Yeah.
Neil, let me ask you a question. What's up with these churches today, these Catholic churches? You said there's no religion, but we're over here. I'm Catholic, and I'm supporting.
Why?
I'm paying a mortgage here.
Yeah.
I'm paying a mortgage for a new church here. Why
are you doing that? Why are you supporting it? Is somebody holding a gun to your head?
Man, I don't know. Everybody.
It's like you're calling me up and asking me how come I'm so stupid. Why am I doing this? It's like going to the doctor and say, "Hey doc, how do I feel?" Why don't you tell me why you're doing it?
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I have everybody else around me doing it. But, I mean, I just feel obligated to say, hey, maybe I should.
Obligated to do what? You mean just in case, just to be on the safe side, you're covering your ass? Is that it? Like so many of these phonies out there? Just in case, I better go and support it. Well, guess what, pal? You lose. Okay, all the Broward lines are open, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T line. Chris Reed, the nephew, just stuck his head in the door and handed me this, and I have no idea why they're doing this again. I guess it gives the impression of looking like our promotions department is really doing something which we know they're not. The QAM van will be in the Toys R Us parking lot at Northeast 167th Avenue and 6th Avenue, North Miami Beach, right across from Krispy Kreme Donuts. Boy, do I love Krispy Kreme. Can't eat them anymore, but I love that place. They'll have passes, free passes to the Dan Marino Celebrity Golf Tournament this weekend at Weston Hills Country Club, and Miami Hurricanes basketball tickets for Tuesday, February 16th against Pitt, and Saturday, February 27th against Rutgers, and I Turn Neil Rogers on T-shirts. They have all of those things. And 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 they'll be there. They'll be there in the parking lot, right there at Toys R Us across from Krispy Kreme Donuts. Anybody want
all of these things?
Probably not. Anybody going to show up there?
No.
Probably not. Just like the last time. And if they call you, by the way, and keep bugging me there, it doesn't even say what time they're going to be there. Does it say what time they're going to be there on here?
No.
No. Just more wasted time. Instead of like really doing some promotion here, billboards, some TV, promoting this radio station, the various people on the air here. No, we're not going to do that. We'll take the van out and give away some tickets to some stupid golf tournament that nobody wants to go to. Just like I've told you before, people that go to golf tournaments, wow. Here's a mobile in Miami, like I said. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Hey, this is the first time I've listened to you. I'm from out of town, and I'm just on the tollway. But about your talk about religion, I assume you don't believe in God or anything.
Of course
right?
not. I don't believe in fairy tales. Do you, sir?
Yeah, I do, but I just got.
You believe in fairy tales?
I don't believe in fairy tales, but I believe in God.
Well,
how do you think everything got here? Just based on logic.
I haven't got any idea. Does it make a difference?
Yeah, it does to a certain degree.
Why?
I mean, do you think it's just been here forever, or
yes.
So you believe in evolution?
Let me say this. The religionists believe that God is infinite, right? That he's been here forever. So if God could be infinite, why couldn't the universe be infinite? Why couldn't it have also been here forever?
It could have been here forever.
Yeah, so how will we ever know? Will you know?
No, I don't know, but I think...
So what's the point of wasting all the energy when it's... Why can't we just say we don't know, and it's not really very relevant to our lives today? Why can't we just say that?
Well, you can say that it doesn't matter to you, but I think most people really wonder, how all this got here.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I mean, curious how we all came to be.
When you go into a office building, you wonder, I wonder how many people it took to build this and how it got here and what year it was built. You worry about how anything got there? When you drive into a tree, you wonder, how did that tree get there? Is that something you waste any time thinking about?
I mean, I've actually looked at trees and I've said, where did all this come from? That's a central question people have always wondered.
Trees came from nature.
Where do we come from?
Trees came from nature, like everything in the universe. Nature, that's where it came from.
All right.
Did you ever hear that?
Where do you think the universe came from?
I haven't got it. Let me see. This is again the dog chasing its tail round and round. I don't know. I have no idea. Let me say it again. If God could be infinite, why couldn't the universe be infinite? If you're willing to accept the concept of infinity, why couldn't the universe always have been here?
It could, but somebody had to create it, right?
It could. No, of course not. If it was always here, how did somebody create it? Where did God come from?
It had to start from somewhere.
Where did God come from? Who invented him? Huh?
He's been there forever.
Well, that's what I just got through saying. Your argument is so juvenile and so weak.
No, it's
yes,
not juvenile.
Yes, it is. It's a self-defeating argument. If infinity is possible in terms of God, then it's possible in terms of the universe. The universe has always been here. It always will be here. It's a concept.
Doesn't it probably make more sense that if there is a God, he spoke it into existence?
And that if there's a God, that all these wars are going on and there's all this cancer and vermin and all these grotesque things that God invented, since he invented allegedly all these forms of life?
Yeah.
Well, why? Why did God invent cancer?
He didn't invent. He didn't
where
invent
did it
cancer.
come from, sir? Who invented it? The devil?
No, it's a part of life. It didn't come from the devil. I mean, cancer is a part of life.
Cancer just happened, like everything else. It just happened. Thank you. Excellent argument. Just happened. Like I said, Isn't that what I said at the beginning of the show?
Crap.
Happens. That's all. It happened. Just like everything else. We're here. There were amoebas, there were all kinds of primitive forms of life. There were the dinosaurs. There were all of these things. And here we are today. And this guy's worried about, how did we get here? I don't give a flying crap how we got here. I'm here. I'm going to do the best I can, okay? I'm never going to know. I don't know anybody that does know. I don't know anybody that was around billions of years ago. So in the meantime, rather than waste my energies and believe in a bunch of stupid crap that were written by men, self-serving stuff for their own people, or people that were dumb enough to believe it, I'm just going to go on and live, okay? Oh, no, you can't do that.
Ever take off your underwear only to find a great big old brown stain? Man, it happens to all of us. It could be the fact that you didn't wipe your ass good enough. Or it could be hemorrhoids. Yeah. Well, introducing Magic Fingers, the all-new anal ointment to cure hemorrhoidal itch. Magic Finger. Just a little dab there in your underwear, rub it between your cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
It's working now.
Yeah, that feels better.
Magic Finger, the new anal ointment to cure hemorrhoidal itch. Because it's about time you got off your ass and did something about those hemorrhoids. Hey, people see you digging in the hall there, man, then you get your fingers all stinky. Oh, it's a bad deal. Magic Fingers. It does the scratching so you don't have to. Magic Fingers. Because it's a bitch. When you got a itch.
It's 11:45 at 560 WQM, the Hank Goldberg Show at 2, and we got Booster 6 o'clock tonight. Ed Kaplan with odds on games with players that haven't even been born yet, 10 o'clock tonight. Some have been reincarnated. Here's Kendall. Hello. Kendall.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, yeah. I was listening in the background of George. It's the price of admission.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. I think there was an earlier caller who wanted to know what it was all about.
Alfie? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious too, but
Curious about what?
when did the universe happen?
Why are you curious about that? Why, since it's something you cannot possibly ever know the answer to, why would you waste a millisecond of your energy and time even considering that? What difference does it make?
It just makes a difference in the sense that curiosity seems to drive technology.
It does?
Well, human curiosity does.
Drives technology? So in other words, we've been able to get to this point where we can do all these computer things and all of our other amazing technology and send people in outer space and bring them back and without knowing the answers to these questions.
To God, yes.
No, not to God, to how we got here. Forget about God.
No, how we got here? Oh, hell no.
So where does God come into that?
No, I'm a born-again heathen.
Yeah.
No, actually, what I really called to say was, in the second page of the Herald, there were some people putting out a church fire. 3 firemen died.
Mm-hmm.
3 are, I don't know, in some kind of condition.
Yeah.
Putting out a fire in supposedly a place of worship.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get it.
Well, God was busy worrying about that soccer game in Hallandale.
I guess.
That's right.
So,
He's got his priorities in order, pal. You better get with it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like to study things, but...
Study what? How can you study? You can study evolution.
Yes.
You can study history as much as we know of it. But once you reach the limits of human knowledge, after that, what difference does it make?
It doesn't.
Well, have a great day. We have an open line in Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. By the way, H.G. Wells was a real racist. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
As a kid, I read H.G. Wells' Outline of History, and I thought I was reading some unbiased stuff, and then I saw a documentary, I think it was on A&E the other day. H.G. Wells was a real racist. And he talked a lot in his writings about the inferior races and the Jews and how these people will certainly not be treated this way and that way and yada, yada, yada. And, yeah, I just mentioned that in passing. Of course, these people don't know H.G. Wells from Orson Welles, from Chris Wells. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. Hi, Neil.
I'm here.
Oh, hi. There was a great thing on last night about for their religion in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Because of the Quran and some other thing that they're killing the women if they look at another man.
Right.
There was one family that they were cousins and they were friends, and the girl then was promised to another family. She looked at her cousin during that period of time, and suspicion, the families axed them to death.
She should have kept it a veiled secret, I think.
If they lift the veil, they get killed.
Right.
All in the sake of religion.
Right.
And I guess,
well, you see, unfortunately, the women didn't invent most of these religions, and that's why they're taking a rear seat, so to speak.
And when they spoke to the men were proud but ashamed. They were proud of what they did for their God, ashamed of their family, ashamed for their sister.
Right.
And that's why they had to kill them.
That must have been a repeat. I saw that story. I did see it.
It was ABC, late opposite Leno or something.
Right, I've seen it.
But I was just truly amazed. I mean, I don't believe in any of this. I mean, I believe like you do no harm. I've been fine. And all this, I mean, because I see all that bad stuff going on. I mean, there is no God.
I feel so bad for people who have been so brainwashed. I mean, they can give up the tooth fairy, they can give up Santa Claus, but this swill, this garbage, this nonsense, they just, no matter how long they've lived, how much they absorb, they just can't get rid of this. And I think that people who indoctrinate their children with this garbage, I think it's criminal.
I have a friend of mine wants to move back to deep into the Bible Belt because he feels that he wants his kids to be brought up with that kind of spirituality. And he's talking to me about it, and I'm like, there is no God.
What do you mean by that kind of stupidity? Have you ever been through the Bible Belt, like in Tennessee?
Oh, yes.
Man, I mean, ignorance is like a virtue there.
But they're still waiting for Elvis to return there.
Yeah, he's coming back. Just give him some time. Have a great day, pal.
Bye, Neil.
Okay. Say hi to his hound dog. Well, hey, listen, if people are schlepping to Graceland to see Elvis, they're schlepping to Graceland to see the king. I mean, we're talking there's only one thing besides sex and money. There's only one thing important in this country, and that should be education. That's all that counts. Use that brain. I'm not saying everybody can be as brilliant as that 9-year-old brat on 60 Minutes the other night. Not everybody can be some kind of a child prodigy, some kind of a spoiled little uppity brat like him and be brilliant. But we also don't have to be Dustin Hoffman and Rain Man, okay? You don't have to be Dustin Hoffman to know that Kmart sucks. Huh? Yeah, no, seriously, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a complete moron to know that. Do you?
Yes.
Oh. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
All right. Listen, I listen to you every day. I don't normally call these talk shows, but I got to tell you.
What do you mean these talk shows? Like,
well, your talk show. I
Oh.
just don't call. Yeah, but regardless, that idiot that called about 3 calls ago that had all the answers but doesn't know where any of them came from.
Well, cancer just happened. Crap happens in that
Right,
case.
right.
But all the
Right,
other
well-
stuff, God invented it.
Well,
See,
here's
if
the thing.
it's a good thing, God invented it. If it's something grotesque and unacceptable, well, it just happened, or somehow man screwed up, and that's why it happened.
Well, here's the thing. I always, not always, but often I think about where things came from, this, that, and the other.
Why?
I don't think about it. It just says, hey, kind of, how did this all
I
get
can
here?
honestly tell you, sir, I never have wasted one moment of my life asking myself that question. Where did the universe come from? Where did I come from? Where did my little dog?
You know what?
How is it relevant to anybody's life?
It's not relevant, but the thing, what I'm getting at is that to wonder about that is one thing. To sit there and think you believe or you know where any of this came from, you got to have your head examined. I mean, how could anybody
there's
sit
one
there
simple thing.
and have an answer?
There's one thing that man refuses to say.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one thing they can't say is that we don't know and we never will know. So let's move on to something productive and do something good.
Yeah, George did a show, I guess, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and he said something perfect. He said, anybody that tells you that they know the answers, they're lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because how do they know? Whether it's a priest, a rabbi, whatever.
And the more adamant they are in telling you that they know the answers, the more they've been brainwashed and the more impossible it is to discuss anything with them intelligently.
One of the oldest religions and one of the biggest made fun of religions is the Hindus, right? Who's to say that they're not right worshiping cows? I mean, it's just as crazy as worshiping anything else.
Right.
So
they're all crazy.
They're all crazy.
They're
anyway,
all
you have a
really
nice
full of crap. They're not all as malignant, but they're all full of crap. And have a great day. God bless you, my child. Yeah, I mean, there are religions that are benign and there are ones that are malignant, but, who needs it? Who needs all this baggage, all this baloney? And that guy before, the best call, I think, was the guy with the spirituality. That was my favorite. Oh, but you gotta be a spirit. Well, what does that mean? It's another word. It's another word that doesn't mean a goddamn thing, if I can say that. Can I say that?
No.
Like I said, it doesn't mean a goddamn thing. That guy was amazing. And then you notice by the end of the call, I didn't talk him out of it. He talked himself out of it because he realized on the face of it how ridiculous it was. 2 open lines in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Well, of course, these people have to talk about it for the sake of religion. That's, we're going to stop, just like we're going to stop you from killing a baby, and we're going to kill you in order to stop you from killing, because killing is wrong.
Killing a baby? No, they don't care about a living baby. You can kill all living babies you want. The fetus is what they're excited about.
Exactly. And then
nebulous life, not life that's already living. Like I've said for 25 years now, once you're out of the womb, they don't give a crap about you. But if you're in that womb, man, they're psychotic.
Exactly.
They're in there with Brian Wilson.
Exactly. Also, by the way, when about an hour ago, when you were looking and dying for phone calls, I was calling in, and you kept saying open lines in Broward, and I kept calling and getting busy.
Well, maybe
I don't know
who
if you're
knows?
having
This
that problem.
phone system over here, this has always been a piece of crap since we got here.
Oh, I know. I just want you to know.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe this 567 we got is like part of a choke exchange or something, because there's something wrong with this phone thing, man. It's screwed.
Just wanted to let you know.
It's part of the Beasley Reed way. Here, go do us a show and make us a lot of money, but don't expect us to provide you with anything that works too good.
And I know what happens because I'm on my mobile, which is a 954 number, and if I call the 5670560, which is Broward,
Right.
then I'm getting busy. But then if I dial you on 305-567-0560, then I get through. So I think it's your Broward line still messed up.
Great. Thanks for the good news.
Okay.
And God bless you.
You.
How do you like that? Phone system might be a little bit screwed up, huh? Would that be a surprise to any of us here?
No.
Because they can't be bothered with these things. They're busy, Greg Reed walking around. Hey, look at the beautiful studios I built for you. Hey, and I got all the ball games. Boy, it's scary. It really is. We have 2 open lines in Dade, or wherever those lines are. I don't know where these damn lines come from. Anywhere in South Florida. 5670560, pound 560 on a mobile one. See, it's like the universe. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where the goddamn lines come from. Same thing. In fact, I think you got a better chance of getting the answers to the origins of the universe than the origins of Bell South.
Where do you find Hank Goldberg? Right where you got it. Sports Radio 560 QAM. The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, it's 12 noon at 560Q. I'm going to dispense with what I would usually do at this point, just to inject a point or two here to prove to you that this is a kindergarten and not a radio station. So earlier we were talking about, and again, it was information that was passed along to me by people who were there in the booth last night. In the booth last night. Like Sam, the promotions guy, Putz, the Hunderling. And when I was talking about Josh Friedman and what he did to Al Leiter and chased him and his daughter out of our skybox at the Macarena last night, comes over the intercom for everyone to hear, Greg Reed, this is from Sam, the promotion guy. Greg Reed, turn on Neil Rogers right now. Like a kindergarten. Juvenile. Pathetic. But does Duff know I'm saying this? We have an open line in Dade. No, seriously, I have never in my life, I've worked with good people, bad people, smart people, dumb people, devious people, great caring people. I've worked with all kinds of people. What? What is it now?
They did it again.
Who did it again? Who did it again? Sam did it again?
I guess. Sounded like him.
What a
I got it on really low.
What a putz. What a schmuck. What a little piece of suckling turd you are, man.
Well, maybe he hates Josh also.
It doesn't make any difference. It's just the whole idea that this man's idea of what he does in his workday is get on the intercom and to tip off his buddy upstairs. Hey, you better turn it on. They're talking about fill in the blank. That's not the point. This is on a level that is so prepubescent, so infantile. It fits right in with that sports format. Perfectly. That's why we've got all these people upstairs. In my lifetime, I've never worked in a place where there were a whole bunch of people that I refuse to speak to and don't speak, that we don't acknowledge each other's existence. Because it's ding-dong school. You understand? We have an open line in Dade, 567-0560. And the tragic part of it is there's so much money flowing through this place, we're not really sure where it's all going. We have our doubts and all these trade-outs. We don't know where all that stuff is going either. We have serious doubts about that. But, boy, I'm telling you, talk about a major investigation. Forget about Penisgate. That's over now. Let's get Ken Starr in here. I bet you he'll find some good pictures upstairs. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
I just want to say the one thing that created everything is Neil God.
Right.
And, you know...
I'm the only God that we know of, sir.
That's it, you know.
Tangible.
All these people that worry about how we got here and who made what...
Isn't that pathetic? They must have the most shallow lives.
I mean, they should worry about just doing the best for their lives. And the
do the best you can. Do no harm and do the best you can. That's it. That's all you need.
And
nature is dispassionate and relentless, and there's nothing you can do about it, so just do the best you can.
Neil, I want to ask you a question. Did someone bring you stats at the game last night?
Bring me what?
Stats, statistics?
Yes.
Okay, watch out for that guy.
Well, you know, I don't understand that either. He came down, nice to meet you, here's some stats. He had a folded up sheet of paper, and I thought it was maybe stats from the Leafs Jersey game, okay? Because why would I need stats at a game that I'm going to? Why do I care about the Panther Sharks? I'm at the game.
I know, what a moron.
Well, it must be somebody you hate like poison, huh?
No, he's my brother.
Oh, okay, you're right. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay, like I said, they hate each other like poison. We have an open line in Dade 1 at Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. I thought maybe Rimmer was sending me down something useful up there. Was he doing that? No. Here's a mobile in Boca. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay, sir.
I want to make 2 points, and I hope you'll allow me to make
Go
it.
right ahead. Number one.
Okay. Number one, you say that religion is all a bunch of words that mean nothing.
I said it's all a bunch of crap is what I said.
Okay, well...
Pile of crap. Right.
Okay, 2 things over here. Number one, when you say Mother Nature, what do you think that's cloaking? What are we describing when we say Mother Nature?
I never use the term Mother Nature. I never say that.
I thought I heard about 15, 20 minutes
somebody
ago.
was talking about an old commercial about not nice to mess, that butter commercial, that margarine thing, not nice to mess with Mother Nature. It's a commercial.
But when we talk about nature, well, anyways, that's not the point. Wait
a minute. Is there no such thing as nature?
There certainly is, but what do we mean by that? What is that force that controls so intelligently everything that we call
So
nature.
intelligently, you mean like at random? Not intelligently. How does it intelligent?
Well, it's not random at all. Here's the point.
Oh, it's not?
No, here it is. When you look at the
So
human
in other
body,
words, the people that die in the church fire that the guy called about before, that was like somebody's plan that happened it was Bashert that happened?
Bashert. The only thing that's Bashert is when a guy finds a nice good wife, that's Bashert.
Yeah.
But the other thing is like this.
Oh,
when
I got an Orthodox Jew here, I think. Oh.
When you look at a human body,
Sir, you don't wear the payas, do you? You're not laying tefillin in the morning and wrapping those things around your arms, are you?
Neil, you said you'd let me make this.
But I'm just asking you a question. Are you wrapping your arms in those straps?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, but Neil, let's make the intelligent point of it. Yeah, 3 times. A 4th.
Can I ask, before you go on with your next point, can I ask you one other question?
Sure.
Why?
Here's the reason why. The reason is when you look at just the human body.
No, I'm talking about laying the tefillin. Why do you wrap those straps on your arms? Why do you do that?
Okay, first let me make the point and I'll answer that if you care to hear.
Okay.
When you look at a human body, there's over 100 trillion cells.
Sir, I want to tell you something. When I look at my body naked in the mirror, I know there is no God.
Okay, but Neil, and you're not letting me make the point.
I can promise you, when we had that video of Al Goldstein and Ron Jeremy naked, I guarantee if you saw that, you would say, "Oh, forget these Bubba Mices. There is no God."
But you're not letting me make the point. You're not being fair to yourself and to your listeners by not letting me make the point.
Go ahead.
Okay, when you look at just a regular novel that has maybe 100,000 letters, what intelligent person would say that those paragraphs and those chapters and the punctuation and everything there just happened randomly? That's just one novel.
Who would say that they happened randomly? Somebody wrote it and somebody printed it. It didn't happen randomly.
Absolutely, and that's only regarding and so that you would say only regarding a book that
regarding something man-made, yes.
Well, I tried to make a point over here.
Is nature man-made? I think you've got the cart before the horse.
No, I'm trying to give you an example that hopefully you can relate to.
It was a bad one.
And that is just like when you look at a house or a novel, you would never think that it happened evolutionary and by itself.
No, because it's a man-made thing. There's a difference between nature and something that's man-made. Even a bozo knows that. Even a child knows that.
But Neil, here you're using the word again,
man
nature.
didn't invent a rock. I mean, he may build a house, but he didn't invent a rock.
But that's exactly my point. Just like when you look at a car or when you look at a house.
Sure, but you keep repeating the same thing over and over again. We already know that. Some things are man-made, like religion.
Yeah, no. No, I'm talking about the world and the universe right now, that it had to have been created by a God. I want to start first at the source of things.
Why is that?
Why is that? Because there is no other way to conclude logically and intelligently.
There's nothing logical or intelligent about the notion of God. That's strictly on blind faith, on stupid, idiotic faith that somebody made up a story, a Bubba Micey.
It's not a Bubba Micey.
Of course it is.
There is no other explanation that can explain such an intricate universe except for saying that there's
except for
intelligence.
nature, and you just discard nature like it's doesn't exist, like it's something not to be paid any attention to. Nature.
Nature is a word which represents a force that you don't want to use the term for God. What is nature?
Well, what's wrong with nature? Why do you have to bring in God and Abraham and Moses and all these fairy tales? What's wrong with the word nature? Is it a dirty word? I mean, maybe I'm behind the times.
It's not a dirty word. It's a word that is.
I want you to tell me why you wrap those straps around your arms and you go through that barbaric ritual. What is that all about? Please tell us.
Okay, the answer.
Why do you do that?
Because once you come to the conclusion that nature is just another word for God, an intelligent force that controls this world, and then you read the Hebrew manuscript that we call the Torah, which has been transmitted from generation to generation, not in the form of a telephone game. It's probably one of the strongest, most.
Well, let me ask you this: Who wrote that? Who wrote the Old Testament?
Well, the Old Testament itself says.
Who said that the Jews were God's chosen people? Didn't the Jews write that?
No, according to the Torah.
Who wrote it?
The Torah
who
says
transcribed it? Who put it down in writing?
The person who put it down in writing, according to the Torah itself, was Moses.
And was he Jewish?
And Moses, well, hopefully was Jewish.
Yeah, so you made my point. You don't want to do it directly because that's okay. But you're still not answering my question. I gotta move on here. What's the reason with the tefillin and the?
My 2 points are like this. Once you conclude that there has to be a God.
Why aren't you answering my question?
The answer.
Why do you do that?
I do it because in the Torah, which was transmitted from generation to generation. from Jewish people who stood around the mountain of Sinai and heard these commandments from God. So that is why I put on the tefillin, because it is told to me that God, when I put on these tefillin, will make nature work in my favor, that I'd be healthy.
Make nature work in you. Why do we need nature? Why can't God just stick His magic finger down and say, "Okay, boom, you're all set"?
Because God is nature. That's exactly my point.
Oh, thank you. Oh, okay, thank you. Wow, I knew if I gave him enough time, he'd come around. Wow.
Oi!
We have an open line in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line, 1209 here on All Jew Radio.
Why don't you go back to Canada, you Jew bastard?
In the tradition of the disaster musical comes Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jews in the Attic, the Anne Frank Diary. You'll leave the theater humming those catchy tunes like No More Beans, I'm writing all this down, Don't Flush Till the Nazis Go Home, I'd turn in my parents for a stick of deodorant. It's Jews in the Attic, the Anne Frank Diary. CD available now.
1214 at 560 QM. You know, when you scrape away, like I said, you take away all the gobbledygook and the double talk, and you get down to the very basics in every one of the conversations, just like with this Orthodox maniac here before. Moses was Jewish. He's the one that wrote it. Yeah, he put it down. Self-serving. Jewish men wrote the Old Testament, so they made it self-serving for Jewish men based on their attitudes and whatever was convenient for them at the time. And since the form of capital punishment was stoning people to death then because they didn't have no electric chair, that's what they talked about, like disobedient children shall surely be stoned to death. Good stuff like that. And then when the dissenters came along and decided, we want to start our own cult because this ain't good enough for us, then they said, we got the real answers. And if you don't believe in our answers, you're going to burn in hell, baby. The devil's going to get you. And this guy's talking about logic. Logic tells me there's some kind of a God that would create a slaughterhouse like this. Oh, but that's man. He gave man free will. Well, maybe he shouldn't have given man free will. Maybe he should have waved his magic wand and said, I don't like the way things are going. Instead of drowning everybody, I'm going to change it. I'm taking away free will. I'm going to make paradise. Not just the ones hanging from your rearview mirror. I'm going to make paradise, even for the Puerto Ricans. That's right. Isn't it the Puerto Ricans that have the dice in the... I hope so. I always get those spicks mixed up. I think it's the Brazilians. Here's Sweetwater. Hello. Sweetwater.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I believe there is a God.
Yeah.
Why? Because I think people make the mistake and they link God to religion. Maybe what if religion doesn't have anything to do with God?
Yeah. And
maybe God created everything we have now. But they have nothing to do.
What is God? What does that mean?
God is a force.
A force?
Yes.
Why can't you say nature?
If you want to put it that way, God is just a word. That's the way I see it.
Well, what does the word mean? Why do you feel necessary? Because you've been conditioned.
I'm not religious.
Of course you've been conditioned.
I am not religious.
No, but you've been conditioned to the God bull crap. You've been conditioned to believe that it's socially unacceptable to use the word nature. If you say that nature is where everything came from, then anybody with a half a brain can understand that. But when you start injecting the God word, you start talking supernatural, hocus pocus, the tooth fairy, goblins out of the bed. I don't know what that means.
What if religion has nothing to do with God? Why can't I just believe in God?
You can believe in whatever you want, but I'm asking you what does it mean, and you're not answering me. You're telling me something that's synonymous with nature. Why can't you believe in nature? Why isn't that good enough?
Yes, I believe in nature. I believe everything that happens because of a reason.
Yeah.
It's not because
everything happens for a reason. In other words,
not like that. Not because. So in other
words, if somebody gets cancer of the kneecap, it was for a reason. Okay, thank you. Well, he's thinking about it. We have an open line in Dade, 567-0560, pound 560 on the Mobile One line. How'd you like that? Everything happens for a reason, and I gave him a grotesque example, and okay. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello? Mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Okay.
Neil, it's, I wish I could write all this stuff down I'd like to talk to you about, but, I believe it's nature also.
Uh-huh.
It isn't God.
In what?
There is no God. It
right.
is nature.
There's only...
Oh, God!
That's right. Well, that's besides the point.
That's a given, yeah.
Yeah. The thing that I did want to say was that all of these other religions, if they took all of that money that they raised, they could probably come up with the cures that kill us all.
Yeah, instead of praying to God to help the homeless, why don't these people go feed the homeless? And I know there are a lot of people that are, doing some good stuff. But I mean, instead of going and putting your hands together and praying for something to happen, why not make it happen?
That's right. And we should all speak that.
Exactly.
Bye.
Okay, and have a great day, God. Damn it! We have an open line in Broward, 5670560, pound 560 on a mobile one line. See, if you're one of those people out there that's and most people are cowards. Most people don't want to stand out from the crowd. They don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to be shunned by they don't want to be looked down upon by everybody else who's so much smarter than they are. So if you want to be one of the masses, whoever came up with that clause, or the phrase rather, about the masses are asses, absolutely correct, sir. The masses are asses. They're sheep. And the overwhelming majority of people, like all the people that run at Christmas time and start beating each other up because they want the Cabbage Patch doll, or they want the, whatever the ones were this year, all the other stupid little ugly dolls. Because they're being, like all the people that went for a Windows 95 and they were lined up at midnight. They were lined up 8 million deep for Windows frickin' 95 because Bill Gates needed another $5 billion. Terrifying. Horrifying. And when they show those Holocaust films, all that grotesque footage which they keep showing over and over again, and all those people are there, those stiff-armed Germans with their, with their arms out there saluting the man with a mustache. They loved it. That's what they were looking for. But I sure love Berlin. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Great.
The reason people worship in God because they're afraid not to worship in God.
Yeah.
It's fear.
It's called CYA, covering your ass, just in case.
Yeah,
I better at least pretend that I do.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Plus, also, they cannot accept the concept that when they die, they go nowhere.
Oh, come on. They got to go somewhere, like in the ground.
Exactly.
And don't shut that lid too tight, by the way, just in case I decide to make a comeback.
All right, Neil.
Have you ever thought about that, sir? Are you going to be cremated when you die?
Just bury me, let the worms eat me up.
Okay.
All right.
God bless you. Well, that's what they say. Let the worms have a good meal, huh? Or even a bad meal. Probably get bad indigestion. Or maybe it'd be like a bad bowl of grits and give them something that rhymes with grits. We have an open line in Broward, 567. By the way, how do worms eliminate?
Constantly.
What does that mean?
They eat constantly, eliminate constantly.
But you just don't see it? Or is it just like that?
Oh, no, you see it.
Oh, I thought that was just dirt on the outside. Oh, jeez. I'm not going fishing no more. Yeah, I think back to those days as a kid. We used to go fishing there in Canandaigua Lake and put those worms on a hook. I just thought that was dirt. Oh, my God. You mean to say that in my hands was all that worm?
Crap.
Wow. Heavy. Here's a mobile implantation. Hello. Mobile implantation.
Oh, doctor?
Yes?
Oh, I got the problem here. You
Yeah.
have to look at it.
Neil, you kind of stole my thunder when you were just talking about
Thunder, are the nuns bowling again?
that people are lemmings and they're sheep. It's like you always said. I don't know if you got the chance to see that bit that Carlin did on HBO.
No, I've had a lot of calls about it. I haven't seen it yet.
He makes a great point. He just said that religion has got people convinced that there's an invisible man upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And
the man upstairs there, thanks to the good man upstairs. He let me win his ball game, man.
Right,
he made me run fast and jump high. The good man upstairs.
That he wants you to live by, and you can only live by these 10 commandments.
Right.
And if you don't, then you're going to go down, and you're going to be, for the rest of your life, you're going to be burned, and you're going to have to cry and suffer and pain
Right.
and death and everything.
That lake of fire, man. Woo! I am worried. I'm dreading that lake of fire.
Right.
That loving God that in case you didn't by accident find out about all the good news, that loving God is going to make you burn on that lake of fire anyway, even if you never heard the good news.
And if it's free will, but he's got the divine plan that he's put into place, and everybody's supposed to follow. But when you go and you pray and you go against this grand plan, then what's he supposed to do? Change the plan for everything that you want to pray for?
Damn it!
Exactly. It's really disgusting. That these people are they've convinced themselves.
And they get very exercised. I mean, their parents have done such a great job of brainwashing from one generation to another that it's locked in. I mean, you can't penetrate that gray matter with a chisel. You just can't get through with a power drill. You can't get in there.
You're absolutely right. I mean, it's just like you just said that if society is betting one way, then the smart bet is the exact opposite.
Let me say it again. Santa Claus is God is Santa Claus for adults.
Absolutely.
And have a great day.
You too.
And God bless you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, the Lord be with you. May the good Lord bless and keep you. Oh, I'm sorry, you got cancer with the right toe. Oh, I'm sorry, the right foot. Oh, well, must be something you ate. We have an open line in Broward, 56705. Of course, that's all man-made. You do understand that. Don't you understand that?
Uh-huh.
Man done that. Like all the locusts. See, even in the Bible, the old Jew God up there, he doesn't blame man for it. He's the one that sent the locusts down. He's the one that created the flood. He's the one that did all of these grotesque, unacceptable things because he got pissed off, so he did
all of these things.
That's right. So those people like to use the excuse, every time man gets involved, he's the one that creates all these problems. No, it was God that did
all of these things.
Right, because he got pissed off. In fact, one of the least read things in the Old Testament is when God said,
"Pissed off gets me fired up when I hear someone say that."
Right. That's right. He is pissed, baby. Oh, by the way, I'm pissed because I haven't even gotten into this yet. I'll save it for tomorrow. I'll play a lot of Enrique tomorrow. That'll really piss you off because I love Enrique Iglesias. He's great, despite of what George thinks. There's a very caustic, I don't want to get into you with music because just like yesterday, you're never willing to admit that you're wrong. It's got nothing to do whether you like the Backstreet Boys. All I said to you yesterday was that in last week's Billboard, All I Have to Give, which is from the European album, the new single from the Backstreet Boys, first week on the Hot 100 is number 5. And this is over a year after you told me last year that a year from now, nobody will ever hear from them. Forget about whether you like the music, whether it's orchestrated, factory music, whatever you call it. That's not what I'm talking about. The fact is, they're still here. They're still going strong.
The article gave them a 4-year lifespan for all those contrived bands.
Oh, the article gave them. I see. But you told me a year ago. Forget it. Now, you're doing the same thing as these religious nuts. Diversionary tactic. It doesn't work with an old hard ass like me.
But I don't give them 4 years.
Doesn't work. What?
I don't give them 4 years.
But you gave them less than 1 year, and you were wrong about that. Enrique Iglesias' voice can't match charm, says this scathing review of Enrique's Valentine's Day concert. Leela Cobo Hanlon, whatever kind of a name that is. Don't you hate these hyphenated? God, that's almost as bad as those made-up names like Neil Rogers. But anyway, I'll get to this in a minute or two. Maybe we'll even hear like a little, oh yeah, in Espanol no less. Wow, that'll get him psychotic. Maybe not. We'll see. That's a good threat to keep the phones lit up. Hey, I love Enrique, okay? I don't care what you say. I think his music is fine. I think he's beautiful. He's a great guy. He invited me, which I had other commitments. He had Shirley Brooks call me personal at home to invite me to his concert.
He can't sing for
Well, if you can say that about Enrique, I can say this.
They're looking for glory holes.
Anyone bent over a chair looks the same to me.
Okay.
Outside of something hanging down there, their back is all I can see. If you're just a little bit too tight for me, I'll use some KY jelly and inside I'll be. What does it matter who you do if they can't see you?
Oh!
When they're taking it up the tube. Anyone bent over a chair could be a girl or guy. As long as there's not too much hair, then it should feel fine.
I want to give you a kiss.
Every time I see a brown eye smiling, I'm riding from behind and slipping inside. And the only thing that shrinks me down from getting hard is when the other one farts. Bend over the chair, I don't care, spread your legs apart.
Okay.
Bend over the chair, I don't care, spread your legs apart.
Father O'Toole, God.
1231 at 560 WQAM, your sixth station for the 90s, and we're very proud of it, by the way. We have a fax here, a great fax. Well, we have several faxes. Oh, by the way, poor Chris. We don't want to blame Chris. Actually, Chris is a good guy. Chris Reed, the nephew. Don't blame him for being related, okay? He's a good guy. And we don't blame him for having to work with Sam. In fact, we sympathize that he has to work with Sam because, you know about Sam. He's an asshole. Promotion man, useless and childish. I think childish. Childish, useless, and infantile. Those are three excellent adjectives. But anyway, turn on the Neil Rogers Show, Greg. Neil's saying all those things. Well, you know why I say all those things?
It puts the lotion in the basket.
But at any rate, Chris is sitting out there all by himself in the QAM van, and he wants some company. He's got a bunch of stuff to give away to you. The QAM van right now as I speak is at the Toys R Us parking lot, northeast 167th Avenue and 6th Avenue in North Miami Beach, right across from Krispy Kreme Donuts. Come on, there's a few white people left in that part of town. Oh, there's not? And we have free passes to the Dan Marino Celebrity Golf Tournament this weekend. Hey, I'm coming to work this morning, and there's a dark-complected listener of mine in the car coming out on Ivory Road. Great guy. Rolls down the window. God bless you, sir. I just want to acknowledge him. I love my dark-complected listeners. Because you want to know why? Because they got a sense of humor. Which, they don't care. Schwartz. Oh, and by the way, where's that thing in the paper this morning about the coon thing? Oh, my God. I'll get back to you, Chris. Don't panic. Where is that idiotic article? Something about it. Oh, yeah. Fred Grimm writes it's all a vast coonspiracy. And I looked at that, and I thought, what the hell? It's about raccoons. But, I mean, I guess he don't listen to the show too much, Fred Grimm at the Herald. You can't be saying coonspiracy, man. Are you out of your mind? God. What a paper that is, huh? That freaking Herald. But at any rate, so let's see. He's out of Krispy Kreme. He's got passes to the Dan Marino Celebrity Golf Tournament this weekend at the Western Hills Country Club. He's got Hurricanes basketball tickets for Tuesday, February 16th against Pitt, Saturday, February 27th against Rutgers, and also those fancy schmancy I Turn Neil Rogers on T-shirts, which you probably won't wear in public, but you can, like, when you put on your panties and bra, you guys, you can prance around in the bathroom with the door locked real tight with those on. So go out there and help Chris out. Huh? Pretend that somebody cares. So here's a great fact that says you made a very good point earlier today when you said that man is afraid to say 3 simple words, okay? What are those 3 simple words?
I don't know.
Those are the words. You're in good company because thousands of years ago when the Jews and the Hindus and the sun worshippers were spreading their fairy tales and claiming their way had all the answers, an old queen named Socrates said, the first step to true wisdom is to admit that you don't know. Guess what? It's okay not to know everything. That's life. Boy, we got a little Frank Sinatra in there. We got that old Queen Socrates. We got everything in there, huh? That's life. All you have to do is say,
I don't know.
And even better than that, I don't give a flying crap. How do you like that? I mean, if I could know the answer by reading a book or whatever, then maybe I might be interested in knowing. But since I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I will never know, I don't care. Oh, how can you say that? You must be very shallow. No, actually, I'm a hell of a lot more intelligent than most of you. Because life is short, I don't want to waste my time pondering and arguing about things that I can never really know the answers to, and wasting my time with a bunch of people who are being led by the nose from Stone Age superstitious people from thousands of years ago who wrote stuff that was so laughable and idiotic that to believe it is to put a big sign on your forehead to paint it on there. I'm a moron. I'm a lemming. I'm a quisling. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay.
Neil, I hate when these people call and say that God created Earth and all this stuff. It's like saying, God created Earth and put us here, but why would He create earthquakes and hurricanes and all those things that kill us?
Because He's a sadistic bastard that keeps getting pissed off all the time.
I mean, everything of the Earth, has a reason.
Yeah.
Not things that we build Earth-wise. Like hurricanes, I believe hurricanes are a way of cleaning up the air.
Yeah, but what about Rutgers? Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 5670560. Well, he had a bad phone, okay? I don't want to be. Maybe he had something to say. I have my doubts. 5670560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. We're rolling along, singing a song today here. We're getting them thinking a little bit. That's what it's all about, baby. Getting them thinking in South Florida. That's a hobby y'all should be taking up because there aren't too many thinkers down here, are there?
No.
Oh, there are a lot of stinkers, but not too many thinkers. That's the problem. Get that gray matter working. Before you know it, you might be able to postpone that denture cream and Efferdent for a few years. You might be able to actually keep your real teeth for a few years if you just think a little bit. I know it's not easy down here. I know this is the land of the lost. This is La La Land. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil, good
Yes, sir.
afternoon. How you doing? I'm pissed off and fired up.
All
about
right,
religion,
that's
man.
what Jesus said.
My parents raised me Catholic, and let me tell you something. The only thing I enjoyed about Easter was looking in the backyard for the Easter eggs and Christmas for the presents,
Right.
man. And one thing that I've
That's right.
realized...
After I got my bar mitzvah presents, I said, okay, that's enough of this crap. See ya.
One thing I've realized about religion is it creates separatism. I
Right.
mean, you have to think that a long time ago there was just one religion, and one guy didn't believe the rules and started his own faction,
Yeah.
and now you've got 20,000 different beliefs.
My religion's better than
Exactly.
yours. That's how
You
people
walk into
assume
somebody
they are,
else's church and they look at you funny like, oh, he's Presbyterian or Catholic or whatever.
Yeah.
What's it all about, man?
It's all
And you know
about a
what?
bunch of crap. It's man-made nonsense. It's foolishness.
Do good to others. That's what
There
it's
you
about.
go. Do no
Have a good
harm
afternoon,
and have
man.
a great life. God bless
Bye-bye.
you. Okay. My religion. How come that song keeps going through my mind over and over again? I might have to play that over and over again. We have an open line in Broward, 567. My penis is bigger than yours. My religion is by my dad's better. You know, all this juvenile locker room kind of crap. Oh, no, you're absolutely wrong. And again, if there weren't that fear of death, they would discard this faster than Santa Claus. They'd, forget it. Are you crazy? But if they weren't just a little bit concerned about that CYA business covering their ass, just in case, isn't it just in case? And, of course, if you don't really believe it anyway, what difference does it make? To put on an act and pretend that you believe it, like Frank Sinatra, okay? Good Catholic boy. Do you think he's up there now singing, that's live? No, he's down there going, that's death is what it is. That's rigor mortis is what he's doing. Open line at Broward, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the mobile one line. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Great.
I wanted to comment about the topic today.
Yes?
And what I wanted to say is that
people?
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
The thing is, with religion is you're absolutely right. There is no such thing. The reason why the people follow religion is because we have people out there. For example, I'll give you a very good example. Yourself. There's people out there that are masterminds. They can manipulate your mind very easily, and there's a lot of weak people out here.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that, for example, like I said to you, look at your fans. Everybody loves you. Everybody calls you. Everybody follows you. That's because you're a mastermind. You know how to get to people's head. You understand what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. Another thing.
Yeah.
Religion. The thing with religion. Priests. It's a big business. It's all a very big business.
Only $50.
Yeah, and even more than that.
Yeah, that's just for start. That's just to give them the
Well,
deal.
that's just to, the offering. You don't know about tuition and everything else.
Right, exactly. Well, that's just, for, like I said, for starters.
Exactly. The thing is
Just
with,
open up that little crack.
Right. The thing is with religion is it's just a fairy tale. It's just a big fairy tale. It's like Cinderella, Snow White, whatever.
Well, at least Cinderella and Snow White were entertaining anyway. This is not very entertaining.
But see, they're fairy tales. So is the Bible. The Bible is just one big fairy tale.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just one big fairy tale.
Well, I'll see you on that Lake of Fire. Okay, we have an open line in date, 567-0560, pound 560 on the mobile one line. I mean, do these people really believe that I don't believe in God? I mean, what is wrong with these people? I go to shul every night. I daven, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. I mean, come on. It's getting close to Purim, man. I'm jonesing for those Hamantash, and it's only February the 16th.
Don't take any bullshit from him.
My religion's better than your religion.
Yes.
My religion's better than yours.
Oh!
My beliefs are what's required to avoid a lake of fire. My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. Why, my religion advocates bigotry and racial hate. My religion's better than yours.
All right.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. What we like about it best, I fondle boys and wear a dress. My religion's better than yours.
No.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We have no respect for women. Drive a cab to make a living. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. Chupa harbor a spooky ghost. We slaughter pigs and dogs and goats. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We wear beanies and big tails and never ever fairy tales. My religion's better than yours. My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We knock on doors to bother you like forward brush to steal our views. My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours.
We wear ties and ride our bikes and get to marry lots of wives. My religion's better than yours.
My religion's better than your religion. My religion's better than yours. We don't wanna use our brains. We're mindless lemmings on parade. My religion's better than yours.
1246, whatever the hell time it is at 560 WQAM. As we continue rolling along, probing for intelligence out there in South Florida. No, it's not easy. You got to stick with us, folks. It's not an easy search. We just keep probing and looking and searching and squeezing and touching. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
How are you this morning?
Great. This afternoon.
This afternoon? That's good. Well, I'm still in the morning. I get up late.
Yeah.
Question.
Yes?
You state that, your people who believe in religion are all a bunch of retarded idiots. And
I didn't say that. I didn't say they're retarded idiots. I said they're brainwashed.
Okay.
They're part of the brainwashed masses. You're using those terms.
You're talking about like preachers who preach it and people who...
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, they're business
but
people. They're not retarded. They're business people. They're exploiters.
Okay, but don't you
And
think...
some of them are making a fortune, by the way, many of them.
Don't you think you're doing the complete opposite of what they're... or the same thing they're doing, but in the opposite way?
By doing what?
Preaching there is no religion?
Of course not. People don't listen to the show to hear a sermon. They listen to the show for entertainment. I talk about zillions of different things on the show every day.
I love your show. I think your show is awesome.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of times where you do talk about it, and it's a whole show.
I'm not. You know something, sir? I don't get paid for the subject matter. I get paid for ratings and to bring in commercials.
Sure.
I don't get paid because I'm proselytizing.
But I don't think it's fair for you to tear down people who call and state that they feel that there is religion and there is a God, and you're constantly bashing there isn't. So you're doing the exact same thing they're doing, but in an opposite
No, I'm not. Let me say it again. I'm not getting paid to proselytize, to brainwash, to get recruits. I'm paid to give my opinions and to be controversial and to be amusing and whatever, entertaining. That's what I'm paid for.
Don't you think there's a lot of butt kissers though that call your
Oh,
show?
Of course, there are butt kissers. There are butt kissers that call every show, sir. That's one of the worst parts of talk radio is that most of the people who call to ingratiate themselves with the host and to suck around and something that's boring. You're right.
It is, and that's what pisses me off about. Hey, listen, if you have a belief in I respect your belief in whatever I believe. That's cool.
But why do you have a problem? Why do you have a problem by expressing what?
I hate the people that call up this show and say they can't stand religion. They've had problems with it.
Listen, I talk to people who disagree with me, who agree with me. I mean, if you want me just to do contrived controversy, which went out with Knickers, by the way, and only talk to people, if you want me to tell George, just put out people that disagree, like Steve Kane used to do, then in about 6 months I'll be on some 50-watt station like he is, searching for an audience, and scrambling to make a living.
No, that's just my opinion.
I'm not into contrived. I'm into talking to people, and if it sounds like they're just being ingratiating and sucking around, I'll get rid of them. It's boring. I agree with you.
That's just my opinion. I'm not saying I don't enjoy your show. I think you're intelligent.
I'm a genius. That's right.
Well, no, you are.
In this town, relatively, everything is relative. In a real place, I'd be a moron. Have a great day, sir. And God bless you. Now, he's got a point. A lot of suckholes, and I'm the one guy on the air that tells you that. See, I'm not one of these people that puts on a big act here and pretends like these sports guys. I'm not going to tell you that. Like George says, those sports talk shows, it's a goddamn sports bar with a microphone. People talking about minutia that is so terminal, it's unbelievable. What do you think about the Kansas State game? Just stop and ask yourself this question, even if you're an avid sports fan. How many people give a flying crap about Kansas State? How many people care about the goddamn Oneonta-Syracuse game tonight? Who cares about that? What kind of a person with a life or a brain, and how entertaining or interesting is that? And the boss is running around upstairs distributing all these leaflets about WFAN in New York, which, by the way, has Imus in the morning, a dead man on the air. But, I mean, sports talk radio, that's the hottest thing going. Well, this is I'm the sports maven. I saw Stan Fischler on there at a game the other night, and Mike and the maven, I didn't see him on there. He's the sports guru, baby. That's why no matter how much money we bill here, we can't make ends meet. We can't pay our salespeople on time because we got to give all the money to Wayne because we're making so much on these sports games. Yeah, he's the sports guru at great expense to the company and everybody who works here. What the hell was I talking about? Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a serious question for you.
Yes.
Do you think anybody calling in who's religious is going to convert you to their way of thinking?
You know something, sir? They're having a party next door down here on this floor that is so loud. They're having a grab-ass session next door to me in the room. I'll get back to your question in a second. That is so loud. I mean, are we dealing with a bunch of jackasses in Lee Cutler's office? We must be. They're having a party over there. Even though they know that there's a radio show of some sort, the highest radio show on this radio station, much higher rated than all their stupid ball games put together, by the way, and we're sitting here trying to do a radio show, and they're making noise through the goddamn wall, and no matter how many times I say cut the crap, they're back over there having a party in their pants. They're playing grab ass with each other. Now, what is the question?
The question is, do you think any of these religious people calling in can convert you to their way of thinking?
Of course not.
The next question. Do you think
Am I gonna? But that's not the point. The
well,
point
can you convert them to your way of thinking either?
I doubt it.
Then my point is, you usually have a good, humorous show.
Sir, let me say this to you, okay? It is not boring. It's great. This show today is sensational. If it's boring to you, then find something else to do today, okay? You know, maybe what you're really trying to do is say, oh, well, don't talk about this because I'm offended by it. It's not boring at all. I'm not here just to be a comedian 24 hours a day. I'm here to talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
Well,
and I always do it. I've been doing it very well, thank you, for 23
well,
years.
I generally enjoy your show. And
well, great. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow when I'm talking about something more up your alley. Isn't that sad? You're not fooling me, sir. I know that game. Oh yeah, well you're supposed to be a humorist. You're supposed to be an entertainer. This is really so boring. It's not boring at all. I'm going to say it again. The first 20 minutes of my show this morning should have been packaged and put on every goddamn radio and TV station in the world. Nature isn't selective, okay? Not in the sense that people they just don't get it. Oh well, it's a mystery. We're looking for answers. There are no answers, okay? Crap happens. Everybody with a half a brain knows that crap happens, and it isn't because God got pissed off, or because Jesus had a bad bowel movement, or because Abraham's beard was too long, or because Samson had a bad haircut, or because Jonah got spit out by the whale, or any of these ridiculous stories. Crap happens. And instead of being like a bunch of emotional cripples, how about growing up just a little teeny tiny bit as we begin to move into the next century, the next millennium? How about growing up just a little teeny tiny bit? How about it?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here's a mobile in North Miami. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Neil?
Yes, I am.
Yes, just wanted to make a comment. You have all these scholars calling in making
We have
claims
scholars calling in?
Yeah, everybody knows about religion, but I don't see any PhDs there. Just wanted to say that you have a good show, but when it comes down to religion, pointing the finger at the Christians and so forth, the synagogues, you have to buy a seat just to attend there.
Sir, who's pointing my fingers at the synagogue? I talked yesterday about the Orthodox Jews in Israel, got almost no calls about. Who's pointing my fingers at the Christians?
Yeah. In reference to all the atheists, yeah.
Sir, who's pointing? Why would you say that?
Oh, you had a lot of calls coming in reference to that, and I just want to let you know.
How about the Orthodox Jew that called in that was laying the tefillin that I grilled for 14 minutes here and finally said, oh, well, you're right, God is nature. How about him?
Yeah, nature.
So you're being selective.
Well, no, it's not being selective. I just want to say that when it comes down to it, between the Jewish and the Christians and all that, we're all brothers in one in Christ, and I just want to say one thing.
We're all brothers in one in Christ. Sir, I hate to break the news to you. Jews don't believe in Christ.
Yeah,
Hindus don't believe in Christ. Buddhists don't believe in Christ. Okay? I hate to break the news to you, sir, but there are a lot of, other than Christians, nobody believes in Christ. Oh, click. There you go. There's a good Christian for you. We're all brothers in Christ. And he hangs up the phone. Oh, God bless you, sir. Don't pick on the Christians. After yesterday, I went through that big song and a dance about the crazy Orthodox Jews in Israel and the picture on the front page of the Herald. And that guy that we had here before that's busy wrapping his arms up in leather straps because he's living in the Stone Age, because he's been brainwashed. And then we're all brothers in Jesus. Oh my God. Did you know that?
No.
That we're all brothers in Jesus?
No.
Even in the jungles of Africa, we're all brothers in Jesus?
No.
Even in China?
No.
Even in India?
No.
Even in Pakistan?
No.
Even the Goyim?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I knew we'd get somebody sooner or later. Wow. That was... And then he hangs up the phone. Click. That was beautiful. That was precious. You know, we're on such a roll here the last 2 days. I thought the first call yesterday, you couldn't top it. We've had a half a dozen today that make that one pale into insignificance, including the Orthodox Jewish guy that's wrapping the straps on his arm. And the only reason they don't do that morning, noon, and night is because once it cuts off the circulation, it's a little hard to keep breathing, okay? It's a little hard to stay alive. So they say, oh, they take it off, they unwrap it. Oh, that feels so good. Yeah, right. When you stop beating the crap out of me, feels so good. Or is it hurt so good? I'm sorry. You know my bad taste in music.
Oh, boy. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
What the the hell was I thinking of? To get my disky twisted all up. The way that butter shoots through me, I shouldn't have all you can eat. What the hell was I thinking of? I got the run, I got the heat, I can't stand up, my feet are asleep. I'm stuck here on the toilet bowl. I never should have lost control. Seafood buffet's fun to have, but I had too many plans. Look at how I'm filling the bowl. It's bigger than a Stuckey's duck roll. My legs are up, I can't control what's shooting out of my asshole. What the hell was I thinking of? I got the run, I got the spew, I splatter my buns, this liquid to
Okay, 2 minutes after 1 at 560 WQAM. We can tell where Volker Bryan's got his money this week. We have an open line in Dade, 1 in Broward. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. We got Hank Goldberg coming along at 2. We got Book Shabby at 6, who's a monster in the sports talk business. And Ed Kaplan, Chronic Gambling Show, 10 o'clock tonight. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neo.
Yes?
We're all the body of Christ.
How do you like that?
And may
we're all
the Lord
brothers
be
in the
with
body,
you.
and we're all brothers in Christ.
And may the Lord be with you.
Yeah.
And make sure you give 10% of that fat check to God, Neil.
Uh-huh.
Neil, you know, Charles Darwin's father was a preacher.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not.
Ah. So doesn't that tell you something?
What does it tell me?
That it's not for real.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 1 in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless. Now, who are you talking to on line 4 there? Are you doing a show with some asshole on 4, by the way?
I'm trying to talk him out of going into broadcasting for a living.
Well, why doesn't he call you on your show, like, sometime, okay? Don't entertain some jackass that wants to get into this business. Jesus Christ, I mean, we're talking about dumb people today, but not that dumb. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. George is doing a broadcasting seminar on line 4 there. Here's a mobile in Biscayne. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir.
Listen, I'm getting tired. This Miriam Alonso doesn't pay her water bills now. She called. I mean, what's going on with that?
Meaning what?
What do you mean, meaning what? She doesn't pay her water bills.
That's what I said. Meaning what? What does Miriam Alonso have to do with my life? What does she have to do with this show? What does she have to do with the price of peanuts? What does she have to do with the price of halava on Miami Beach?
Nothing at all.
Okay, thank you. Open line in Broward, 2 in Dade, 567-0560. Starting to open up now like a big, wide river now. Man, we need somebody to come along and make that water dry up real fast. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. See, if I'm listening to a show I enjoy, I keep listening. If there's somebody talking about something, no matter how much I may like the show or the host, and they're talking about something I don't care about, I tune it out for a while. I might tune in later on. If they're still talking about it, I'll tune it out again. Like when I hear a lot of the dumb callers on the sports shows on this station. Which breaks my heart, but nevertheless, I got plenty of CDs. That's the way it works. Oh, but you're supposed to be doing a comedy show every day. Oh, I am? Oh, that's interesting. Here's Boca. Hello. Boca.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Neil, how you doing?
Great.
I want to comment on the people calling in about religion. I went to Catholic school for 8 years, and I'm 22. And I'm not
What just happened on the phone there? Somebody else pick up the line?
No, I'm on a...
Oh, George is punching me around. George is going through change of life. And
that does that.
What do you mean that does that?
When I punch up another line, it makes that pop.
Well, that's nice. Another crappy piece of our phone system. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. We're just operating with a Neisner's phone system, and they've been out of business for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's all right. But I'm not religious. I'd say I'm more spiritual. Just accepting...
more spiritual. We're back to that again. What does that mean?
Spiritual?
Yeah.
Just that I accept just spirituality and people's views. I'm not religious.
What is spirituality? What does that mean?
Spirituality, to me, is just being a person to a person, being kind, understanding Earth, understanding and respecting nature,
Well, what does nature have to do with spirituality? Spirituality, the word implies some kind of hocus pocus, some kind of gobbledygook, some kind of faith in the unseen. And what does spirituality have to do with nature?
Because nature is spiritual. Nature
No, it is not. In other words, nature that creates animals that eat other animals, that's spiritual?
Well, no. Okay, but I understand what you're saying.
Survival of the fittest, sir. There's nothing spiritual about that.
I understand. I just would like to say, as far as religion, the thing with religion is they want you to believe like they do, and if you do not believe like they do, then you're going to
burn
hell.
in hell, and you're a bad guy. That's right. You're going to burn on that lake of fire. Boy, it's going to be pretty crowded there, you know?
Well, I went to church with my grandparents one Christmas.
Yeah.
And again, I went to Catholic school my whole life, but I went out of respect for them, and the preacher was saying, you will be, a little bit more accepted into heaven and God's favor if you take some money out of your pocket and help out the church.
Cough it up. That's right.
Oh, my God.
Right. God needs that money, don't you understand? The Lord, He's doing a lot of shopping at Walmart this week. Well, God bless you, sir, and have a great life.
All right. Take
okay,
care.
don't listen to any bull crap, okay? I mean, that's God may be up there, but I'll tell you one thing.
Don't take any bullshit from him.
That's right. That's right. I mean, maybe he is there, but don't forget.
Don't take any bullshit from him.
We have an open line in Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. I mean, we know Greg Reed is upstairs, but that's what I believe.
Don't take any bullshit from him.
Oh, boy, and is he loaded with it. He is overflowing with it. He's covered with it. By the way, did you know Duff isn't... he wasn't here yesterday, so if we need him... Oh, don't forget, Chris is out there.
No, he's not.
He's gone?
Yes, they all came out of the woodwork as soon as you mentioned it. And
so we actually got some response.
Yes.
All right. Nice going, Neil. Jesus, God, do I have the power, huh? That guy was right before. I'm getting paid to brainwash the public. Anybody believe that?
No.
I don't. Because I'm not, I'm making money from this joint, but nobody's sending me any money in the mail. Nobody's filling my collection plate, because God only knows if I'm going to keep up the payments on all those Corvettes and NSXs and stuff. It takes a lot of money to do that. It takes a lot of hard-earned cash, okay? The Church of Neil is what I say. Let's start it right now. Just send me a bunch of money, okay? Send me a bunch of money. Whatever you got. Worked for Soupy Sales, almost got his ass off the air. Okay, where are we going? Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, our first lady of the day. Wow!
You don't have any women that call, do you?
No. We don't have women that listen. We have some that pretend to listen, but they're too shy to listen. They're afraid they might learn something.
Well, I listen every day.
Great.
And you made a point today that I completely disagree with.
Yes?
You said something about Tennessee.
Yeah.
I lived in Tennessee for a long time. I lived in California.
Backwoods, Neanderthals, hillbillies.
Well, I have a lot to say about the assholes, excuse my language, in South Florida.
Yeah, well, that's another story. That's another chapter.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so the point I was going to make is the people in South Florida who there's not as much religion down here, or there's not as many people that are involved with religion. People are shallow. They're insincere. They're
they're not intellectual like the people in Tennessee. Right.
Well, there's some good schools in Tennessee. There's some educated people.
Like
in
when I
Tennessee.
moved to Nashville for 1 month in 1980 to work at WLAC, which I came running back from there, was a grotesque place. And the landlady at the apartment I rented, she said to me, well, there's two kinds of people. There's people from Nashville, and there's people like from New York and Florida. which was her way of saying Jews, but she didn't really want to say Jews, And
right.
I said, yeah, that's what I said.
Well, my point that I was going to make is that the people in Tennessee are very pleasant. Unlike here, I have
they're real clannish. That's with a K.
That's a very small group, Neil.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. They like
Majority
to stick in
of
the
the people
hood.
there are very pleasant.
Yeah.
What?
I said, have a great day. Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 5670560. I'm going to tell you, the people in South Florida are rocket scientists compared to the people in Tennessee. I mean, that's a real shot. When somebody starts telling you that the people in South Florida are dumber than the people in Tennessee, that's a real backhanded shot in the old fat.
Rectum.
I'll tell you that right now. We just laugh at that kind of talk, There's two kinds of people. There's you Jews.
So Roger's got.
Clintons, meet the Clintons. They're a modern White House family. From the town of Little Rock, they're looking for their place in history. Scandals like those old Blackwater loans,
or such as a rising ball of doom. When you're with the Clintons, you'll have a hell of a good time. You just might do time. You'll have a gay old time.
Or I'll say gay old time to get all psychotic. 115 at 560 WQM. We have an open line in Dade, two of them, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. No interest, by the way, in that fat story I had earlier in the show. See, I brought up about 100 things before 20 till 11, and we got off into this religious tangent, but it's not because I came in here to proselytize again. It's just that this is what really gets them all stirred up. Nature? Oh, my God, that's pretty controversial, man. How the hell can you say those things? Nature, my ass. Yeah, the 24-hour fitness folks with that billboard that says, depicts a hungry space alien and says when they come, they will eat the fat ones. And there's a bunch of fat people out there in San Francisco getting all bent out of shape. Because you're not supposed to make fun of fat people. I think all of us, even those of us who are fat, make fun of fat people. Don't we?
Yeah.
Like Josh Friedman.
Yeah.
Oh, you better turn it on, Greg. He was up there in that box last night chasing Al Leiter out of there, is what I heard. Maybe it was, you know something? Maybe it wasn't his behavior. Maybe it was the aroma. We have an open line in Dade, 567-0560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello. Mobile in Fort Lauderdale.
Neil, you there?
Yes, sir. Well,
Hey.
this phone's a piece of crap. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I know it's a piece of crap. I'm over here by the beach.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering, I heard about the lady calling and saying that she wasn't even born yet when she was, because she wasn't certain religion.
What?
I had somebody tell me that because I wasn't baptized.
Now, what lady said that?
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yesterday.
We haven't had any ladies today. We had the lady trying to defend Tennessee, which has nothing to do with what we're talking about. We've had no women today.
No women.
how do you
Just
like
one
that?
woman. I heard that earlier.
But anyway, what's the
But
point?
there's nobody in this town.
There's nobody in this town. Okay, thank you. There's a bulletin for you.
Oh!
There's nobody in this town. Thank you. He's over there by the beach, and he's on his way out. He's looking for Andrew Conanon's body. We have an open line at Dade 1 at Broward, 567-0560. God only knows what he's going to do with it. And pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Here's a mobile in Tavernier. Hello.
Neil God.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. Listen, if there was a God, we'd all look, sound, and be hung like Enrique.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
No, they wouldn't be hung like him. He's hung like a mouse, is what he says.
No, I don't know about that.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what he goes around telling everybody.
Well, I was picked up
Maybe
by
it's
a
to
cigar.
throw us off the scent.
I was picked up by that cigar. But, you know, you bring more common sense to it than anybody.
Yes, I
mean,
do.
I listen to these people.
How come I don't have a whole bunch of ass suckers here calling and telling me that, boy, you sure got some great common sense. Everything you say, you know, that guy that said that's boring, well, it is to a point, but what's wrong with having your ass licked?
The truth is boring.
Right,
That's why we got religion.
right. To
But,
spice it up a little bit and get everybody killing each other and arguing, calling each other names. That's right.
The one thing I can't understand is I listen to all these religious fanatics talking about the Fagelers out there. It's against this and it's against that.
Yeah.
The one thing they can't answer, if God made us all, they made the Fagelers too.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You give them an answer and they go and they hide with the hallelujah.
Yeah, well, let me just suggest this, sir. Butch up. Okay, we have it open. If you butch up a little bit, they won't say Fagel anymore. They'll say something else. You know what they'll say, don't you?
That damn faggot. I can't stand him.
Open line at Broward, 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. If you're trying to defend the sin of homosexuality on this show, sir, you got another thing coming. We don't hate the sin, we hate the sinner. Isn't that the way it goes? Yeah, in fact, we lust for that sin, but the sinner, we want to pick on him because he's got to be our scapegoat. In fact, if we can't have a billy goat, next best thing is a scapegoat. That's what they say in Lutz. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I was telling George a few weeks ago I was at a luncheon and I met a man, Walter Sabo, and told him how he made...
Is this a fake voice? George is shaking his head vehemently like it's a fake voice, which I thought at the very beginning. Is this your real voice?
A real voice, yes.
Uh-huh.
And how he made your station, how he made, I want to say, he's a consultant.
Yeah.
He consulted on making you and...
He's an asshole. Yeah.
No, I don't know about that.
I do know he's a major asshole,
He
yeah.
said he helped the ratings go up.
He didn't help the ratings at all. He helped to destroy he helped to destroy WIOD, sir, is what he did.
Oh, that's not the way he said it to us.
Okay, well, you're right. It's a fake voice. What? What are you getting all bent out of shape about it? So what if it is a fake? But why are you so uptight today? What is the problem? You're off your feed today, George.
Because it's so bad.
Well, that's what makes it good, is that it was so bad. It was probably the guy with the eyes is what it sounded like to me. But what difference does it make? It's entertaining to listen to somebody make a jackass out of himself with a real bad phony voice. Man, it sounded like he had 20 pounds in his puss. And maybe he did. We have an open line in Broward, 5670560. And what does Walter Sabo have to do with this show? It's like, what's her name with the garbage the guy was talking about, that professional spick with that Maria Alonso, whatever her name is. Miriam Alonso. Who cares about that? When are you Cubans? I'm not going to pick on the other Hispanics because they got their act together a little bit better. When are you Cubans going to get out of the kindergarten and get into the real world and start thinking and talking and living about the things that we care about? I can't think of any of them at the moment, but if I ever do, man, live in that little parochial tiny world, the Miriam Alonsos and Ileana Gross-Layton and Rosanna Dana and all these silly little jackasses, man. Expand your horizons. That's what I'd be saying. Expand your horizons a little bit. Get out of the real world. Start sniffing the pansy. Oh, you're already doing that? Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Just moved back from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah, what a horrible place that must be.
Oh.
Sure get those great hockey crowds up there. Got a hell of a team, but there's nobody going.
Oh, you couldn't give a ticket away.
Right.
You know, all them Baptists up there.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And but racism's alive and well.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's more...
Well, I know some people are really are fond of North Carolina. That's probably the reason they like those racist attitudes up there a lot.
Yeah, you know, but God says, you know, treat everybody well.
No, he doesn't. He says, screw those coons is what he said.
And then, you know, they want to know where all the
chinks,
strip joints come from.
Yeah.
There's more there than here.
Right. Well, like I said, now I know why George likes it up there, especially when he leaves his wife at home, right? And have a great day. Okay, there's our Greensboro report. Oh! Open line at Dade 1 in Broward, 5670560. All you have to do when you think about the Deep South is think back to these speech med hearings that we just had. Those House managers, as they were called, Asa Hutchinson and that Lindsey Graham from South Carolina, all them drooling, deep Southern idiots. Oh, Lindsey Graham, he's my favorite. He was absolutely my favorite. What a little yahoo he was, man. You just look at him, you want to yell, yahoo! And they keep bringing him back again. The thing is over. Somebody please tell the people at the TV networks it's all over. And what did I tell you, by the way? As always, nice going, Neil God, right on target. What did they drag back out of the closet on MSNBC? The minute that Penisgate was over, John Benet frickin' Ramsey. And you know what? She's still dead. I can read through them like looking through a pane of glass, and what a pain they are. They got their 3 or 4 little hysterical stories, and as soon as one of them, they've squeezed every drop of blood, like squeezing blood out of a turnip or out of a rock. As soon as there's not a drop left in it, they go back and they start squeezing the old ones again. And what's wrong with squeezing the old ones? That's what I always say, and then they run. Open line in Dade, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Maybe a handshake, but not a squeeze. Here's Virginia Gardens. Hello.
Hi, Neil. How you doing?
Great.
I listen to your show every day. I think it's pretty good.
Oh, pretty good? Yeah, fair. It's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of weak.
So you were wondering about spirituality and what it is?
Yeah.
It's a label.
Yeah.
It's a label like anything else. Have you ever read up on Taoism at all?
No.
No.
Why would I want to do that?
Well, I think it's a little bit more the direction you're going as far as, you know, your religion or your non-religion, if that's the case.
Yeah.
Ever read Alan Watts?
No, I don't have to read any of that stuff. There's nothing to read. There's nothing complicated reading all these great philosophers and all these theorists and all. And why do I want to do that? It's simple. There's nothing complicated about it. It's very simple. Do no harm. Nature is what it is, and do the best you can. That's it. That's the end of that part of my life. Now move on to living it.
Exactly. That's what they teach, though.
Right.
Almost a non-self approach to life.
A non-self approach?
Yeah, that you lose your ego and you...
Why do you want to lose your ego? What does that mean?
Because
it's more gobbledygook again.
No, it's not. Actually,
yes, it is. It's gobbledygook. It's gobbledygook.
You have an ego and individuality.
What is it?
When you have all these things attached to you, like the way you look and all that other, crap, then that adds to the gobbledygook that you're talking about.
All of these things.
No, it doesn't. It's what makes you an individual, sir. It's exactly the opposite of what real life is all about. What makes you an individual as opposed to just another sheep and lemon. That's what it is. What is distinctive about you. So, can it? Oh. How could millions and millions of people take something so simple and make it into such a big, mysterious, complicated thing and talk such crap? Have you ever heard such crap as that in your life? I mean, the guy that said we're all brothers in Christ, I mean, he was better than this guy. Got to get rid of your ego and, and self. And just be another sheep. Just be like part of the woodwork, like part of the wallpaper. Like Sam, the promotions guy. He's like a fly in the wallpaper. It's like a fly in everybody's ointment is what he is. Open line and date, 567. You know, it's interesting. I'm thinking to myself right now, I'm thinking of the group of people in this building that I'm becoming very alienated from and don't have an interest in seeing or speaking to, and I'm realizing it's that group. You know what I'm saying? It's the Untouchables up there. It's the Greg Reed group. Right, the Untouchables, that's right. Just ask Elliot Mess, he'll tell you. Yeah, the Untouchables. They can do no wrong. Their stuff don't even stink. That's right. They can do it right on Greg's desk. And, oh, man, what aroma that is. Oh, it was great. That's the best I've smelled this year. Yeah, so it's not me. I've worked in a lot of different radio stations with a lot of different people. And, I somehow coexisted with most of them, even some people that were assholes. I still got along, so it's not me. I've worked around all kinds of people. But this place, there are those Untouchables up there, and I'm discovering that, hey, let them do their thing. If we never see them again, it'll be soon enough. They got their little grab-ass club up there. Oh, they were in the skybox together last night, and this one was doing this, and this one was doing that one. Great. I'm in my seats, okay, having my own good time. Woo! 126 at 560 WQM, the home of the truth, baby. This is the place for the goddamn frickin' truth. Oh. Yeah. And if you don't believe it, God damn it, tough crap.
How are you airing shit like this?
Bill cigars in Monica's vagina. She lets out a giggle when he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind.
Damn it.
Well, he don't know where a stogie goes. I can see how there was some confusion between humidor and humid whore. And in Arkansas, the term cedar box means saw her naked. Stars report can lead to going blind.
You go to hell and you die.
Now Clinton, he was working hard, late nights in the ovary office, working on a practical joke. He took a Macanudo, put an exploding load in. Poor Monica was blowing rings of smoke.
Dumb son of a bitch.
Bill cigars in Monica's vagina.
All right.
She lets out a giggle every time he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind, but a cigar in her vagina she don't mind.
Okay.
Oh, people feel that Hillary's been made a fool of by her husband. Feel that Hillary was wronged. Up in the Lincoln bedroom, she was moaning, moaning. Al Gore was doing her with Bill's old bong. Bill cigars in Monica's vagina.
Yeah.
She lets out a giggle every friggin' time he makes it wiggle. Monica is not the kind you can do in the behind.
Rectum.
But a cigar in her vagina she don't mind. Oh, Candy and Sandy, yeah, Dutch Master is faster. Oh, yeah. What you gotta do is take a Tipperillo and put it in a grill. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, now a cigar in her. Oh.
You know, I want to retract something I said a few days ago. It's not that James Taylor's music was that bad. It was just that it was so syrupy that if you heard it once, each song once, like Fire and Rain, each song once, it would be fine, and that would be enough. There you go. Like most of the sports calls on this station, you know? Once is usually too much, but certainly once would be enough. Like Billy the Jets fan. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm a somebody because I have more enemies than friends. And Sunday was Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I was telling folks Happy Crotch Day. And from the home of the frickin' liberals, and have a swell day.
Okay, we have an open line in Dade, one in Broward, 5670560 and pound 560 on the AT&T wireless line. Sad part of it is he made more sense than most of these people today, but hey, here's a lady in Miami. Hello. Lady Mobile.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
This is not only a woman, but it's a woman who moved with you to Nashville.
Oh, my God. You moved with me?
Ann Calder. Mary Ellen.
Mary Sue. Oh, my God. How you been?
I'm okay. I live in Melbourne Beach, and I'm on the turnpike going to Miami, and I picked you up.
This is Bill Calder's wife.
And I heard you talk
Who's
about...
now married to somebody else. You're still married, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. You doing good?
Yeah. You sound like you're doing good.
I'm doing okay for an old fart. How long you been up there?
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We go back and forth. But
Don't you miss working in the restaurant over at that awful place?
Yeah, I missed the shopping.
Where was it, Saks or Neiman Marcus?
Neiman Marcus.
Yeah, Mary Ellen used to be the restaurant manager at Neiman Marcus until they found out she was too pushy and pushing around those old farts, which was great. So what are you doing up there? Just you got kids now?
No, still have Benny and Max.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh my God! You still got your 2 ratty dogs, and I still got my 2 mangy dogs.
Yeah, one's blind, the other can't hardly walk. But
oh
they're still
Jesus!
there.
Wow.
I'm a realtor now.
Oh yeah, isn't everybody? And
just hanging out. Live right on the beach. So it's nice.
Excellent.
How's your mom?
She's great. She's just the same.
Good.
She's kind of like my dogs, mangy and old. Well, listen, it's great hearing from you. You have my home number. It's still the same.
No, when you put me off, give it to me.
Oh, George will give you the number. Okay. Well, listen, take care of yourself.
Okay.
George will give you the number. Give me a call, okay?
Okay.
Hang on. Wow, how about that? Not just a lady, but Mary Ellen Calder. Woo!
Oh!
Heavy duty. Well, what a nice lady she is. Yep, there aren't too many like Bill Calder around anymore, I'll tell you that. But that's the way it is. It's like I said, nature. You just have to do the best you can and move right on. That's all you can do. I remember speaking of dead friends, I remember my good friend Alan Finkelson from Pompano Park saying to me back when he was dying of cancer, and I was sitting in his office one night before the races, and he said, he was obviously, the cancer had gone into remission, and then they found it came back, and he said, he's shaking his head like, what have I ever done to deserve this? And I said, you never did anything to deserve this, just this is the way life is. Crap happens to good people. And of course, he's dead. Here's a mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Brian here. Just got back from Miami-Dade Community College.
Yes, sir.
There. On my way out, there's an exhibit for this African-American Black History Month thing that you have to walk through to get to your car.
Uh-huh.
And there's this exhibitor there. I'm confronted by him with a big picture of a black Jesus Christ behind him. And he says to me, let's ask the white boy, what color was Jesus? I'll bet you're wrong. Can you deny that he was black because he came from Africa?
I heard he was Asian. I heard he was Chinese.
It doesn't matter, though. That's my point. But why do I have to get confronted with this? Isn't there a separation of church and state?
Well, what do you mean, why do you have to get confronted with it? Because religious fanatics are everywhere. The crazy people are out there handing their pamphlets out in every street corner in every major city in America. I was talking about that yesterday.
If I bring him to work with me, I get fired. This is
If you brought who to work with you, the guy or the
if
pamphlet?
If I brought pamphlets with, I wouldn't bring this character with me. But
Well,
if I
why
brought
not?
pamphlets about what I believe in, it would be against every rule.
Well, just tell them no thank you and have a nice day. Okay, we have an open line in Broward, 2 in Dade, 5670560. It's like the bilingualism thing, okay? If people want to get bent out of shape about it, like I told you the other day, go right ahead. Is it going to change?
No.
No. So if you want to make a big issue and get all bent out of shape and get your blood pressure up and go ahead. doesn't faze me because, number one, I don't live in Dade County anymore. That was my choice. And number two, if somebody don't want to speak my language, screw them. That's my comment to them. Unless, of course, it happens to be in another country where they don't speak English, in which case I do the best I can.
This is the most disgusting program. I urge everyone to complain to this station.
Sometimes I feel like life passing me by. Sometimes I feel like people don't want to smile. When I listen to your show, make me smile like a child. You can help me get by, my friend. Bill Carter on the radio. Bill Carter on the radio. My radio, yeah.
Okay, 144 at 560 WQM. We have an open line in Dade, one in Broward, 5670560. There was one of the really good people that I worked with in this market the last 500 years, Bill Calder. He's dead. But you know what? It wasn't because God decided it was time for him to die. It wasn't because, it was in somebody's master plan. Crap happens. We live, we die. Oh, you can't say that. Is he up there? No, he's not up there. He's not down there. He's dead. Okay, where are we going? Here's Key Largo. Hello.
Yeah, Key Largo?
Yes, sir.
Listen, for 1 hour last night,
yes,
your buddy, Larry King.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I wanted to ask, because I was at the hockey game, did he suck Linda Tripp's ass? That's what we want to know.
French kissed her ass
are you
for
serious?
solid hour.
Oh, my God.
Every question that any newsman worth his salt pepper would have possibly conceived, he didn't ask.
Yeah.
Instead, she said, I don't want to use the word taping. I want to use the word something else.
Uh-huh.
So immediately, Larry King says, okay, we'll use the word something else.
Uh-huh.
And he
did something else on the phone.
Never used that terrible word for Linda. Instead of asking her about who asked her to tape,
right,
he was asking her, like, what'd you think of John Goodman?
Yeah, where does she get her hair done? Stuff
And
like
that.
that. Yeah. Is she going to lose some weight this year?
And just to get back to you.
So in other words, he put his lips right on her
Rectum.
and sucked heavy duty. Nice going, Larry. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. Anybody that kisses up to Larry King, you're on my crap list forever.
But listen once. The first 3 hours today, you ought to synthesize it and distribute it all over the United States.
All over the world.
Yes. Freaking classic.
Right, amen.
Amen.
God bless you, sir.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. He's right. Oh, yeah, but we have to tune you out when you talk stuff like this. Well, you know what? Go ahead. It's a free country, at least to a point. Go right ahead and tune. I love those people. Yeah, we love your show, Neil, but when you start getting on that religious kick, that's when the show is great. You're right. That's when it really make a lot of sense, because nobody else will tell you this crap. Nobody will tell you the truth. They'll feed you a lot of horse crap, a lot of horse manure. That's what the media is all about, is feeding the public pablum and horse manure. Oh, the good Lord's up there looking on that crap. He's looking down on us. This one's for you, baby, up there in the sky, up out there somewhere. Uh-huh. I mean, if you want to live your life on that level, be my guest. I'm not condemning you. All I'm doing is offering an alternative opinion and my approach to the way life really is. It's a lot easier. It's a hell of a lot easier than burdening yourself with all the entrapments of this horse crap. 2 open lines in Dade, 5670560, pound 560 on the old AT&T wireless line. Here's Pompano. Hello.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes,
I agree with that guy wholeheartedly about the Larry King show last night.
Oh, my God. He actually sucked Linda Tripp's big, fat, smelly butt.
And the callers that were coming in, I was flipping back and forth between that and something else. The callers that were coming in were just so complimentary to her.
Well, they must have been screening the damn calls out.
All right, they must have all.
I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's why his lips are so chapped.
It was disgusting. I mean, it was disgusting to look at her to begin with.
Right, and her and him together, what a match that is.
Oh, that's a tag team. But to hear her justifying herself, saying, "I still like Monica. I wish she wasn't lying. Still, I wish she would come out and tell the truth." She's saying how she knows that she's on the Democrats' hit list and stuff like that. Well, honey, you made your own bed. You got to lie in it
He
now.
never met a guest he wouldn't suck up to, this man. He is the world's beyond a shadow. That would be the promo on CNN. The world's #1 primo suckhole, Larry King.
Well, let me tell
He
you.
sucked his way to the top.
No argument there. Last time I had called you about something on television, I said to you, Neil, I wish I had your home number. I would have called you last night. You missed something else besides Larry King that was on at 8 o'clock that I know you would like to have watched. And I said, I wish I had Neil's number.
Yeah.
Arts and Entertainment did a biography on Elizabeth Montgomery.
I think I've seen that.
No, I thought it was new. I thought it was something new. It was very nice. She was a very
I love
beautiful
Elizabeth
woman.
Montgomery. She's not feeling too good, but I love her.
Well, true. Regarding the Bill Calder, I was on hold while his wife called in.
Right.
You had a tape, not the one that you just played, but you had a tape of, it sounded like a Hispanic guy
Right.
singing that was, I really
I got
liked
that
it.
somewhere. I was looking for that, but I'll find it. I'll look it up.
Who did that one there?
One of his listeners. They were both listeners.
Oh, okay. In conclusion, may I please call someone a douchebag?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is something that I think you'd agree on because
Or
you
not.
always talk about them. The Sun Sentinel and the Miami Herald sports departments. I got called them both a bunch of douchebags. I tried to get them out for weeks to cover an event that this athletic team I was involved with was doing. It was a big tournament. Instead of reading about who's getting millions of dollars to sign with what team, who's getting busted, who's shooting who, no. They can't come out and do something on a
If
local level.
it's not their thing, they don't give a crap. Don't you understand?
I
They
hear
have
you.
all their own priorities, and if it's not something they're into, they couldn't care less.
I hear you. From now on, I'm advertising on the Neil God Show.
All right.
See you later. Thanks.
See ya.
Bye-bye.